Chapter 2108. After the atmosphere at the foot of the mountain quietened down, Jinbei looked at Hong Ming and said, "Since Ouyang Tian and Dao Qi both pointed out your son-in-law's crimes, it means that this matter is true. The mysterious demon clan has an undeniable responsibility for this disaster. Now, lead the mysterious demon clan out to deal with the devouring celestial bug." This suggestion was immediately approved by the million fiendish cultivators. Cheers rose and fell at the foot of the mountain. The mysterious demon clan has committed grave sins. We must lead the battle to atone for our sins. I heard that Hong Ming's son-in-law is not a fiendish cultivator. Who exactly is he? What is his purpose in coming to Demonic City this time? Is there a need to guess? That weakling must have planned to destroy Demonic City a long time ago. First, he used flowery words to confuse Hong Chun-Wu. Then, he obtained Hong Ming's protection. That's how he could do whatever he wanted in Demonic City. In the end, he caused this irreversible disaster. Sigh. Hong Chun-Wu is known as one of the 5 fairies of Demonic City. She was actually tricked by a cultivator from another clan. As the saying goes, all the good cabbages are taken by pigs. The mysterious demon clan cultivators were furious and panicked when they heard the million fiendish cultivators discussing them like a tidal wave. Hong Chun-Wu's pretty face was so red that water was about to drip out. Some of the unbearable words made her extremely embarrassed and angry. How dare a bunch of weaklings criticize my beloved daughter? If anyone dares to spout nonsense again, I will tear their stinky mouth apart. Hong Ming could not take this kind of insult. A true form aura surged from his body as he roared like thunder. Many low-level fiendish cultivators felt dizzy. Even Ekiyana supremacies immediately shut their mouths. However, a few disaster transformation almighties were still grumbling. Anyway, they had more people on their side, so they did not have to be afraid of Hong Ming. Huh, Devil King Hong Ming is so impressive. Is he trying to go against the entire Demonic City? The Thunder Monarch sneered. Adding insult to injury was his hobby. Thunder Monarch, don't try to drive a wedge between us. If you have the guts, let's fight one-on-one. Otherwise, shut your stinky mouth. Hong Ming's gray hair was standing on top of his head. The Thunder Sovereign was afraid. His cultivation level was only at the first stage True Form realm, while Hong Ming had attained the second stage True Form realm not long ago. If the two of them really fought one-on-one, the Thunder Sovereign would likely lose. Of course, I'm not afraid of fighting you one-on-one, but you're still thinking about internal strife now that we're facing a great calamity. As expected, you don't care about the safety of Demonic City at all. All these years, I've allowed your Black Demon Clan to monopolize the resources of the Second Demon Peak. I've really fed them to the dogs. The Thunder King snorted coldly. Hong Ming couldn't take it anymore and struck out with her palm. The void rumbled as the Zhun Yuan hand blotted out the sky. The Thunder King's expression changed drastically. He didn't even need to fight back to realize that he would definitely be severely injured by this palm strike. Hong Ming, you're really rebelling. The dark demon Golden Steel let out a low roar, and another handprint appeared in the void. These two true essence handprints were like two dark clouds colliding in the void. Rumble. The sky shook. The ground beneath everyone's feet shook. Even the cultivators who were hovering on swords felt a huge force and were sent flying. Brother Golden Steel, Hong Ming is a Demonic City cultivator, but he joined forces with outsiders to destroy Demonic City. Now, Brother Golden Steel has the highest cultivation level in Demonic City. Please lead the way. The few of us will join forces to destroy Hong Ming and get rid of this evil for the clan. The Thunder King immediately shouted. I'm willing to join the battle and do my part for Demonic City. Ouyang Tian stood up. I'll join too, Nie Yuan said. The few True Form realm cultivators in Demonic City could form a top force. They were able to form a top force, and there were even a few peak disaster transformation experts from Dao Qi joining them. With such a powerful lineup, no one in the entire West Ocean continent would be able to stop them, let alone in Demonic City. Old thief Hong Ming, I'll give you one last chance. Either you go out and destroy the immortal engulfing bug and do your part for Demonic City to atone for your sins, or we join forces to destroy the entire Black Demon Clan and leave no one alive. The golden steel shouted in the sky. Hong Ming was furious. Once upon a time, when Patriarch Hong Ming had been alive for a few hundred years, Demonic City had been completely under the control of the Black Demon Clan. They had been respected by millions of fiendish cultivators. Now that millions of fiendish cultivators had gathered and a few true-form realm mighty figures had joined forces to force the Black Demon Clan, things had changed. Qin Feng will not harm Demonic City. You must be mistaken, Hong Chun Wu said anxiously. The golden steel did not even look at her. He said coldly to Hong Ming, "You have 3 seconds to consider. If you're not willing to fight, I'll kill your daughter first." "Don't you dare!" Hong Ming roared into the sky like an enraged lion. Violent quintessential essence surged from the golden steel and the others at the same time. The battle was about to begin. "All right, I'll go out and destroy the immortal engulfing bug alone. You guys are not allowed to make things difficult for any cultivator of the Black Demon Clan." In an instant, Hong Ming seemed to have aged 100 years. He felt humiliated by making this decision, but there was nothing he could do. Before Hong Ming could fly out of the array formation around the demonic peak, a cold voice sounded. "Old Dao Qi, you know better than anyone else what the situation was like at the heavenly peak. As a peak disaster transformation mighty figure, don't you feel ashamed to invert right and wrong and frame others?" Hong Ming's expression changed drastically. He stopped in midair. That cold voice was extremely familiar. It was Qin Feng's voice. The millions of fiendish cultivators below the demonic peak looked into the sky at the same time and saw a white light flash. The person was too fast, and they could not see the exact situation. Unknowingly, a tall figure landed in the sky above demonic peak number 2. That person was dressed in a snow-white robe, and his long hair was flying in the wind. His aura was unpredictable, making it hard to tell what was real. He was young and looked to be no more than 30 years old. However, when he stood on the peak alone, it was as if the entire sky was his territory. "Who are you? I don't even know you. Why are you slandering me?" Dao Qi's eyes were spewing fire as he stared into the sky. The identity of the person was unknown, and his aura was also unpredictable. Even a mighty figure like Dao Qi was a little wary. However, many people recognized Qin Feng. During the huge battle below demonic peak number 2, Qin Feng had used his original appearance. On the heavenly peak number 2, I only wore a mask magic artifact. Did you hear me when I advised you to leave? Qin Feng's voice was cold. The crowd exclaimed. Many people reacted. So, Qin Feng and Xiao Feng were the same person. No wonder Hong Ming had been protecting these two identities. "Aunt, how dare you come back? Don't even think about leaving demonic capital alive today," Thunder King said furiously. Nie Yuan thought quickly and connected all the recent events. "So, you and Hong Ming have been in cahoots for a long time. First, you cured Hong Ming's pill poison and then helped him break through to true realization state. Then, you went to the heavenly peak number 2 together and released the devouring immortal bug. Tell me, who are you? What faction is supporting you?" Nie Yuan's analysis was reasonable and many cultivators took it seriously. Qin Feng could not be bothered with him. His good intentions had turned out to be bad intentions. Qin Feng could not be bothered to leave the West Ocean continent. "Aunt, watch this old man destroy you." Dao Qi roared and suddenly charged into the sky. He had already disliked Qin Feng on the heavenly peak number 2. However, there had been a sudden change and the devouring immortal bug had flown out, so he could not deal with Qin Feng. Now that he had the Thunder King and the other true realization mighty figures to rely on, Dao Qi was not afraid of Hong Ming attacking him. In his opinion, as long as Hong Ming did not help Qin Feng would be an ant for him to kill. Rumble. A huge quintessential essence handprint appeared and caused an explosion in the sky. However, Qin Feng was no longer there. It was as if he had disappeared into thin air. "Are you looking for me?" A cold voice came from behind Dao Qi. It was like the summoning of the Grim Reaper. Before Dao Qi could react, A powerful magnetic field rippled around him. He immediately felt his movements slow down. This is field? You're merely a first-stage Ekiana tripod realm cultivator. How could you comprehend field? Dao Qi's eyes were filled with shock. Qin Feng did not answer Dao Qi's question at all. A ball of blue flame rose behind him. It was as if a scorching sun was overhead. However, after the flame appeared, a cold wind blew in the field. The air instantly froze, and even Dao Qi was frozen into an ice sculpture. I was indeed at the first stage Ekiana tripod realm 3 months ago. However, I'm not anymore. As Qin Feng's cold voice spread, the ruler in his hand slashed down. A dazzling purple light flashed, and a crisp cracking sound was heard from Dao Qi's body. Dao Qi was still conscious. He was struggling to escape from the ice layer in the field. Perhaps the extreme cold had numbed his pain nerves. When Dao Qi's arm split open, he did not notice at all. Crack! Crack! Not only his arm, but his legs and body had also split open. The knife marks were extremely small and could not be seen with the naked eye. After slashing down with his saber, Qin Feng retracted his aura. The blue flame that had risen behind him also disappeared. When the ice heart flame disappeared, the snowy environment instantly stopped. It was as if it had never appeared. Bang! At that moment, there was a dull sound. Dao Qi's body split open. It was as if he had been dismembered by 5 horses in the sky. However, this was not the end. Every part of his body continued to shatter. In the end, he turned into grain-sized ice shards that scattered on the ground. A peak disaster transformation realm almighty had been destroyed. This attack had been completed in one go. It had happened in the blink of an eye. When the Thunder King and the rest came back to their senses and wanted to help, they realized that it was too late. Dead? Senior Dao Qi is already dead? Where did that guy come from? His skills are too terrifying. He could actually kill a peak disaster transformation realm almighty instantly. It is obvious that he has already stepped into the true form realm. He definitely has helpers. They should be a group of true form almighties. It seems like Demon City was not destroyed by the devouring celestial bug. It was eliminated by other forces. Old Thief Hong Ming, as a member of Demon City, you actually colluded with outsiders to destroy Demon City. Your conscience must have been eaten by dogs. When 1,000,000 fiendish cultivators woke up, there was a raging discussion at the foot of the Demon Peak. A few true form almighties were furious. Their divine senses locked on a Qin Feng at the same time. Aunt, if I don't kill you today, I will not be the top expert of Demon City. Jinbei growled and took the lead to attack. His palm hit the air. The sky was shaking. A huge handprint covered the entire void of the Demon Peak. When he attacked, it brought with it the aura of a catastrophe. Chapter 2109. Young hero Qin, be careful. Hong Chun Wu shouted anxiously. Hong Ming took out a flying sword. The sword flare pierced through the quintessential essence handprint and seemed to split the sky into two. The quintessential essence handprint's attack was neutralized by the surging sword chi. However, when the two halves of the handprint fell to the ground, there was also a violent explosion. Qin Fen was sent flying by the aftershock and vomited blood in midair. When he fought with the true four mighty figures again, he realized that his current cultivation level was still lacking. He couldn't care too much anymore. He took out a calamity pill and swallowed it, trying to break through to the disaster transformation realm in this desperate situation. Speaking of this calamity pill, Qin Fen hadn't used the phoenix flower to refine it. The calamity pill was already a level 9, level 7 king pill. Qin Fen couldn't refine it at all. This pill had been given to Qin Fen by the old monster sealed in the cave abode on by Ling Mountain in the mystic realm of the Purple Cloud Mountains. In order to get Qin Fen to help him break the seal, the old man had thrown out many precious resources as bait. 3 stalks of rank 7 spirit herb fire spirit lotus, 3 stalks of rank 5 spirit herb hunter pasture grass, 3 stalks of rank 7 spirit herb fragrant flower, a true artifact grade 7 colored ghostface old banner, a brightly colored feather, a hard rhinoceros horn, an extremely tough rubber band, and the second part of the creation of heaven and earth art. Finally, there was a bottle of pills. Qinfen had only thought of that bottle of pills on his way back to Immerse after breaking through. He had expected that he would most likely die in this battle and had planned to clear out all the treasures in his storage ring. He had accidentally found a jade bottle in a corner. There was only one pill in the jade bottle. It was the calamity pill that he urgently needed. Qinfen had originally planned to wait until his current realm had stabilized before eating the pill to break through to the disaster transformation realm. However, the current situation didn't allow him to wait. Old thief Hongming, are you really rebelling? Jinbei's palm had been aimed at Qinfen's life, but Hongming had stopped it. He was furious. Hongming didn't have time to deal with him. He leaped into the sky above where Qinfen had fallen and extended his divine sense, watching the true four mighty figures' every move. Young hero Qin, are you all right? As soon as the pill entered his mouth, it melted. Spiritual qi surged, and Qinfeng's body was about to explode. He suddenly roared towards the sky. His white robe exploded, and his hair fell down. Hongming could not understand what was going on. She quickly wanted to go down and check on Qinfen. However, before she could do anything, several surging black clouds appeared in the sky. The black clouds contained a destructive aura. It turned out that the Thunder Sovereign and the others had combined their quintessence attacks. If they were fighting one-on-one, Hongming would not be afraid of any of them. However, a few true four mighty figures were attacking consecutively. The misty handprint rumbled, and just the intense explosion was enough to make one feel hopeless. Senior Hongming, hurry up and leave. Qinfeng's roar was deafening like thunder. Hongming was not willing to leave him alone. She immediately sent out a few palm strikes. However, the quintessential essence palm strikes instantly dissipated when they collided with the rolling black clouds. It was as if her ferocious attacks had struck cotton. The million demonic cultivators were dumbfounded. Almost all the true form realm cultivators in Demonic City had gathered here. When these true form mighty figures attacked with all their might, the destructive power they brought could destroy heaven and earth. The magnificent scene in the void made people infinitely smaller. They were as insignificant as the stars in the vast universe. Rumble. Deafening explosions sounded one after another. Hongming could only withstand 3 palm strikes. His body could not take it anymore. He spat out a mouthful of blood in midair and fell to the ground. This huge battle seemed to have just begun, but Hongming and Qinfen were already seriously injured. The Thunder Sovereign and the others sneered disdainfully, but the mystic demon race was filled with fear. Young hero Qin, are you all right? Hongming landed beside Qinfen and realized that he was sitting cross-legged in the crater and circulating his quintessential essence. Senior, I'm about to break through, Qinfen said with his spiritual sense. Hongming's expression changed drastically. He could not understand Qinfeng's thoughts at all. He was about to die, but Qinfen still had the mood to break through. You're about to break through? Break through to the second stage, Ekiana, Tripod Realm? Not the Ekiana, Tripod Realm. I'm breaking through to the Disaster Transformation Realm. As soon as Qinfen finished speaking, a deafening explosion sounded. Before Hongming could understand what Qinfen meant, he was shocked by the sudden explosion and subconsciously looked toward the sky. A lightning tribulation struck. It split the condensed quintessential essence clouds in the sky, and a violent storm descended. The remaining quintessential essence was blown away and completely disappeared under the washing of the rain. What is this? Could it be that the lad's helpers are here? What a powerful, mighty figure. He broke the consecutive attacks of the Thunder Sovereign and the other true form realm seniors with one strike. What realm has he reached? Demonic City is going to perish. Demonic City is going to perish. The million demonic cultivators were stunned by the lightning. The huge commotion seemed like the sky was collapsing. However, this was just the beginning. When the first lightning struck, a few more waist-thick lightning struck the ground a few seconds later. This is not a man-made attack. It's a lightning tribulation. Jinbei had already discovered the situation, but the truth was shocking. His eyes were about to fall out. When the Thunder Sovereign and the other True Form Realm mighty figures understood the situation, they were also dumbfounded. They had already discovered that Qin Feng was attracting the lightning to break through, but this lightning tribulation was too fierce. It was not weaker than the lightning tribulation that Hong Ming had triggered when she broke through to the True Form Realm 3 months ago. Isn't that lad at Cauldron Filling State Level 1? Why would he trigger such a powerful lightning tribulation? North Nether Mountain Sect leader, Demon Venerable North Dark was puzzled. Thunder Sovereign murmured, "No, this isn't a Cauldron Filling State lightning tribulation. It's a disaster transformation state lightning tribulation." That lad actually went from Cauldron Filling State Level 1 to disaster transformation state in just 3 months. Everyone was shocked. Only now did everyone recall a fact. Not long ago, Qin Feng had killed the disaster transformation state peak stage Dao Qi sect leader with one move. How could a Cauldron Filling State Level 1 cultivator do this? He's really breaking through to disaster transformation state. This lad is too insane, Nie Yuan exclaimed. The news seemed to have grown wings and spread quickly among the crowd. The million fiendish cultivators were extremely shocked. Even the entire West Sea state, no one could go from Cauldron Filling State Level 1 to disaster transformation state in just 3 months. Rock. It must be that rock. Jean Bei's eyes lit up. His old eyes looked straight into the sky pit in the lightning sea. His body flashed, and he actually dashed down. Rumble. Before he landed, his true essence hand seal floated in the air. True Qi was like tumbling waves, tearing the air apart. He charged toward the sky pit with an unstoppable force. Little ant, hand over those rocks or you'll die. Jean Bei used his spirit sense to communicate with Qin Feng. Crack. Qin Feng didn't answer at all, or rather, what answered him was a sky-tearing thunder. Qin Feng casually threw out several array flags. The array flags landed around the golden tablet and immediately formed a lightning-attracting array. The lightning tribulation that fell from the sky exploded on his body. Crackle. The power of this lightning tribulation surprised Qin Feng. It was dozens of times stronger than the Cauldron Filling State lightning tribulation. Luckily, there was a group of truth realization state powerful cultivators to help him block the lightning. Otherwise, he might die under the power of the 9 transformation true lightning. A loud noise shook the sky. Jean Bei's true essence armors shattered instantly. Black smoke billowed from his body as he was smashed into the ground by the lightning. The million fiendish cultivators gasped. They were shocked by this destructive lightning tribulation. Even the Thunder King and the other truth realization state powerful cultivators were shocked. They even felt a trace of fear. Wait, this isn't an ordinary cultivator's lightning tribulation. Nie Yuan's expression changed drastically. The others all looked at him. Dark North Demon Venerable asked, "What kind of lightning tribulation is that?" This should be the Divine Supreme Continent's sure kill lightning tribulation. Nie Yuan was so emotional that he almost shouted. His voice echoed in everyone's mind. Sure kill lightning tribulation? Many people's expression changed drastically. They had clearly heard of sure kill lightning tribulation. What is a sure kill lightning tribulation? Some didn't know. Legend has it that there are 9 types of rare lightning tribulations in the Divine Supreme Continent. Each one is extremely ferocious, and there's no chance of surviving it. Hence, it's called the 9 Great Sure Kill Lightning Tribulations. Although these 9 types of lightning tribulations are extremely ferocious, as long as one can survive it, he or she will be reborn and become an ultimate god. Legend has it that the most powerful Grand Tao God of the Divine Supreme Continent triggered a sure kill lightning tribulation when he broke through. After the explanation, the million pairs of eyes stared at the sea of lightning in the sky. The shock in their eyes couldn't go away. If this ferocious lightning tribulation was really one of the sure kill lightning tribulations, then wouldn't Qin Feng be a once-in-1,000 years ultimate god? With his current cultivation level, he could instantly kill a disaster transformation state peak stage cultivator. If he successfully broke through the lightning tribulation, wouldn't he be invincible in the West Sea state? No need to doubt it. That kid definitely triggered a sure kill lightning tribulation. This isn't the first time he triggered a sure kill lightning tribulation. Otherwise, how could he kill a disaster transformation state peak stage cultivator when he's only at the cauldron filling state? Thunder King said coldly. Jinbei flew back from the huge pit with great difficulty. His body was badly mutilated from the explosion, and he no longer looked like an expert. This damned ant. If we don't join forces to kill him today, we will be the ones to die when he successfully transcends the lightning tribulation, Jinbei said fiercely. Brother Jinbei, what is the stone you mentioned earlier? Nie Yuan was curious. In fact, he had observed carefully. During the previous battle on the number 2 Demon Mountain, the golden tablet had also mentioned the stone. Furthermore, every time the stone was mentioned, the golden tablet, a true form mighty being, would be in a mess. It's an ultimate treasure that you guys can't imagine. Let's kill that kid first. Jinbei kept his mouth shut. After all, the secret of the immortal stone was very important. He wouldn't say anything until the last moment. Something that Jinbei had been thinking about, and even said was an ultimate treasure, would naturally not be bad. The Thunder King and the others were a little tempted. No matter what, they had to kill Qinfun. If they could get a share of the ultimate treasure after killing him, it would be a pleasant surprise. Whoosh! However, just when the few of them discussed to continue attacking together, the void was torn apart by a white electric flare. A deafening sound was heard, and a violent airflow shook the ground. The 307 Demon Mountains showed signs of collapsing. This time, the Thunder King's expression changed drastically when the array flag appeared next to him. He immediately felt that he was being shrouded by death. However, before he could react, a continuous loud sound came from his body. He screamed and fell at the foot of the mountain 1,000 meters away. Chapter 21:10. The expressions of the remaining people greatly changed, but in this short moment of shock, the array flags that filled the sky scattered like a flock of butterflies. Crackle. The lightning tribulation was abnormally ferocious. Whenever a bolt of lightning appeared, it would tear space apart. The lightning sea floated in the air. The power of the lightning tribulation that was supposed to land on Qinfun's head had all struck the few true form state cultivators. Amidst the continuous thunderclaps and explosions of the true essence giant hands, the millions of demonic cultivators even experienced temporary tinnitus in their ears. The fierce movements were no longer transmitted into their ears in the form of sound, but through the violent shaking of the mountains and the fluctuations of true essence. They could feel it even more vividly. Who is that person? He can fight multiple truth realization state Qianbei at the same time and not lose. I know. Rumor has it that Hongming found a grand ultimate god to help her during the battle outside the second demon peak a few months ago. So that grand ultimate god is the man in front of us. Hongming didn't protect the man, but the man protected the mysterious demon clan. Is this the legendary sure kill lightning tribulation? This is practically an apocalyptic calamity. The millions of demonic cultivators had their horizons broadened. It turned out that the world of high-level cultivators was like this. There was no need to use quintessential essence in a fight. All they had to do was to use the power of the Thunder Tribulation. Qinfun was indeed using the Lightning Tribulation to strike the True Form Realm cultivator. There was probably no other cultivator in the Divine Continent who dared to break through in front of a True Form Realm mighty figure and use the Lightning Tribulation to strike the True Form Realm cultivator. Looking at the spectacular sea of lightning, Hongming's jaw dropped. Not long ago, when he heard Qinfeng say he was going to break through, he thought he was crazy. Now, he was about to go crazy. There was no longer anyone who could stop Qinfeng from breaking through. Following that, the lightning tribulation became even more ferocious. Qinfeng continued to throw out array flags. However, these array flags were not thrown at the Thunder Sovereign and the others. Instead, they were all gathered at the array walls surrounding the Demon Mountain. What is he doing? It's over. He wants to draw the thunder tribulation to the formation wall. If the formation wall of the Devil Mountain is destroyed, the celestial devouring insects outside will be able to fly in. This guy really came to destroy Demonic City. How can he be so vicious? No one could understand Qin Fun's actions. Even Hong Ming and Hong Chenwu were dumbfounded. Young hero Qin, what are you doing? Hong Ming was shocked. Senior, I want to blast open the Demon Peak formation wall. Qin Feng did not hide anything. Hong Ming jumped in fright. Qin Feng, why did you destroy the formation wall? This way, the celestial devouring insects outside will be released, and then everyone will die. Qin Feng naturally knew better than Hong Ming how powerful those bugs were. However, he also knew that sitting around and waiting for death was useless. Now, Qin Feng's lightning tribulations were endless. Furthermore, he was only halfway through his breakthrough. He wanted to use the lightning tribulations to bombard the immortal devouring bug to see if it would have any effect. Senior Hong Ming, we'll have to fight sooner or later. Why drag it out? Why don't we quickly find a weakness of the celestial devouring insects and destroy them as soon as possible? Qin Feng said quickly. Hong Ming's expression changed unpredictably. He had already understood Qin Feng's thoughts. After some consideration, Hong Ming began to agree with Qin Feng's point of view. This disaster was not only a disaster for Demonic City, but also a disaster for the entire West Sea continent. If they did not think of a way to destroy the celestial devouring bug as soon as possible, they would die sooner or later. Senior, haven't you noticed? Those celestial bugs are constantly reproducing. That's the main reason why we have to act as soon as possible, Qin Feng added. Actually, the celestial bugs that had flown out of the sky reaching Main Peak were not as spectacular as the ones before him. Qin Feng made a rough calculation. In a short span of 3 months, the number of celestial bugs had at least doubled. This terrifying reproduction rate shocked Qin Feng. He knew that all the West Sea continent cultivators were racing against time. If they did not destroy these celestial bugs as soon as possible, they would be engulfed and turned into ruins sooner or later. I see. I'll help you break the array. After understanding the current situation, Hong Ming soared into the sky. In a few breaths' time, he had already landed beside the array wall of the demonic peak. He did not hold back at all. His quintessential essence, giant hands, kept falling, stirring up layers of ripples on the array wall. Hong Ming is indeed in cahoots with that kid. They want to work together to break the array. What should we do now? If we let them succeed, everyone will die. Since we're going to die either way, let's fight it out with Hong Ming, that dog thief. With someone taking the lead, tens of thousands of demonic cultivators immediately followed. These cultivators were of different realms. There were Peak Calamity Transformation Realm cultivators, True Spirit Realm cultivators, and Buddha Light Realm cultivators who were at the bottom. Before these cultivators could get close, a lightning bolt fell, creating a huge ravine on the ground. The ravine was 100 meters deep. It was like a crack in a cliff, dividing the battlefield into two. You ignorant people. It's fine if you don't want to help, but if anyone dares to cause trouble, I guarantee that the next lightning tribulation will land on them, Qin Feng growled. His voice was as cold as a knife. The group of demonic cultivators who had gone berserk due to a moment of excitement immediately stopped. They were afraid that the fire in their hearts would be extinguished by that lightning bolt. All that was left was the lingering fear of escaping death. Rumble. Lightning bolts and quintessential essence collided fiercely against the array wall. An hour later, a formation core loosened. Soon there was a loud sound, and the entire demonic peak territory shook. Not good. There's a hole in the array wall. Someone cried out. The expressions of the millions of demonic cultivators changed drastically. Their eyes were filled with fear. It was as if they could already see the end of the world. When a small hole appeared on the array wall, the black fog outside suddenly surged, forming a cone-shaped hurricane that crazily drilled into the demonic peak territory. The devouring celestial bugs are here. Everyone run. Is that bastard Hong Ming crazy? What benefits does he get from colluding with outsiders to destroy demons? My arms are gone, my legs are gone, my head. The devouring celestial bugs were very fast. They had already snuck into the crowd without a sound. The millions of demonic cultivators were in a mess. Many cultivators had mysteriously disappeared. The scene was extremely terrifying. Qianfen raised his brows and immediately drew the lightning tribulation to the area near the array wall. There were many spirit insects there, forming a dense black cloud. Whoosh! The blazing white lightning bolt fell to the ground. When it passed through the black fog, it was like the hope of the night. The explosion was earth-shattering. Ferocious quintessential essence surged, and waves of heat came one after another. Qianfen immediately extended his divine sense and scanned the area shrouded in dust. His eyes instantly shot out a bright light. More than half of the black fog actually dispersed. "Young hero Qin, how's the effect?" Hongming asked impatiently. If even the lightning tribulation couldn't kill those insects, he would immediately lead everyone out of Demonic City. "It's lethal. I'll continue to strike. Senior, bring the others to hide in the demonic peak." Qianfen could not hide the excitement in his tone. Hongming's grave expression also faded a little. His eyes shone with hope. He leaped up to the peak of the second demonic peak and used his quintessential essence to send a voice transmission. "Young hero Qin is going to use the lightning tribulation to kill the celestial insects. Everyone, immediately return to the demonic peak where your sect is located to take refuge. If there's nowhere else to go, temporarily hide in the second demonic peak." Chapter 2111. The millions of demonic cultivators who were fleeing were shocked. Wasn't Hongming with Qianfen to betray Demonic City? Why would she be so kind as to help everyone escape? What are you waiting for? Hurry up and run back to your respective demonic peaks to take refuge. There are defensive formations on each demonic peak. "They can buy us some time," Hongming shouted again. Some people came to their senses and immediately fled. They were very careful as they fled, still wary of Qianfen and Hongming. More and more black fog floated into the territory of the demonic peaks. Qianfen's lightning tribulation descended ferociously like a thunderstorm in the sky. "Look, that person seems to really be killing the celestial devouring bug. This lightning tribulation is so ferocious. It can even kill the celestial devouring bug. Is Demonic City saved?" Many cultivators who returned to the demonic peaks began to watch the battle. When they saw the black fog dissipating, they were extremely excited. The Thunder Sovereign and the others looked at each other. They had always thought that Qianfen and Hongming were working together to rebel. They never expected that the two of them would take the initiative to resist at such a crucial moment. "Could we have misunderstood Hongming?" Nie Yuan mumbled to himself. "Although I still feel enmity towards Hongming and that kid, I have to say that we might have really misunderstood about destroying Demonic City." The Thunder Sovereign's tone was much gentler. However, Ouyang Tian immediately jumped out to refute. "Don't be fooled by those two cunning fellows. I saw Qianfen release the celestial devouring bug with my own eyes. It can't be fake. If Starlight sect leader Dao Qi was still alive, he would definitely speak up for Ouyang Tian." Unfortunately, only Ouyang Tian still insisted on denying Qianfen and Hongming. That was because Qianfen had killed his son, Ouyang Jun, at the foot of Demonic Peak No. 1. He swore he would not rest until he took revenge. "Brother Ouyang, if Hongming and Qianfen really released the celestial devouring bug and wanted to destroy Demonic City, why are they still fighting the celestial devouring bug here?" Demon Sovereign North asked. Ouyang Tian couldn't find an excuse either. He curled his lips and said, "They're just putting on an act. They're afraid that they'll leave behind a terrible infamy in history. I'm sure that the grandson, surnamed Qin, will immediately flee with the Black Demon clan after his tribulation. Who can stop them then?" Ouyang Tian's words woke them up with a start. This kind of speculation was not impossible. After all, Qianfen was still undergoing tribulation and couldn't leave even if he wanted to. "Big brother Jinbei, what do you think we should do now?" the Thunder King asked. The golden tablet's mind was on the immortal stones, so naturally, it was eager for Qianfen to be killed. But now that the array wall of the Devil Peak had been broken, the devouring immortal insects had flown in, and in the entire Devil Peak, only Qianfen's thunder tribulation could kill those immortal insects. If Qianfen died, so what if he obtained the immortal stones? Everyone would probably die in the Demon Peak. No matter what, the one with the surname Qin is currently killing the immortal bugs. Why don't we wait for a while? If that bastard wants to escape after successfully overcoming his tribulation, we'll kill him even if we have to risk our lives, said Jinbei. Everyone nodded in agreement, but Ouyang Tian shouted anxiously, Brother Jinbei, Qin Lai is a divine lord who descended to the world. He can kill a peak disaster transformation stage cultivator at the Ekiana Cauldron Realm. If he succeeds, we won't be able to stop him. You don't have to say anything more. Anyway, I won't take action now. You guys can decide whether to take action or not. Jinbei leaped and disappeared into a Devil Peak. The Thunder King, Nie Yuan, and the other true form realm cultivators also dispersed, planning to wait and see. Ouyang Tian gritted his teeth, but he couldn't do anything to Qianfen. Even if Hong Ming didn't help Qianfen, he wouldn't be able to withstand the power of Qianfen's lightning punishment. The millions of cultivators outside the Devil Peak disappeared instantly. Most of them hid in the Devil Peaks where their sects were located. Some cultivators were a little slower and were instantly engulfed by the black fog. In the vast Devil Peak, only Qianfen was left sitting quietly at the bottom of the mountain. The sea of lightning above his head was tumbling. To the cultivators standing on the Devil Peaks, it looked like numerous thunder dragons were circling above the Devil Peak and roaring. Crackle. Thunder rumbled. As Qianfen kept throwing the formation flags in his hand, thunder flares exploded in all directions. When it landed, it was a scene of ruins. The entire mountain was blasted until there were crisscrossing cracks. It was as if the mountain was going to collapse and the earth was going to crack. Under such a fierce attack, the black fog that flew into the Devil Peak instantly exploded. Countless celestial, devouring insects fell as if it was raining immortal insects. Why do I feel that something is wrong? Qianfen glanced at the sky, and his expression changed slightly. Master, you killed the newly bred, celestial devouring insects. The immortal insects that flew out of the heavenly peak are basically unaffected by the thunder tribulation, Little Pig said. Qianfen was startled. He felt that something was wrong. With Little Pig's reminder, he immediately found the root of the problem. Although the celestial devouring insects fell to the ground like pieces of the void exploding under the bombardment of the sea of lightning, the falling immortal insects had weak auras. They were comparable to the batch of immortal insects in the heavenly peak. Why is this happening? Qianfen couldn't understand. Little Pig said quickly, Master, the celestial devouring insects reproduce by splitting their consciousness. Splitting their consciousness. Qianfen's expression changed drastically. Little Pig continued, That's right. As long as these immortal insects are activated with their consciousness, they can split into a new life form. However, the main body will only split an extremely small amount of weak consciousness to ensure that the main body's consciousness is still strong. Therefore, the new body is extremely weak at the beginning. With the strength of their consciousness, they can't withstand a single blow. If they encounter a cultivator or treasure with a powerful consciousness, they will perish. Therefore, the new body must devour a large amount of spiritual objects to strengthen their consciousness and mature. This is the reproduction process of the celestial devouring insects. Qianfen suddenly felt a sense of despair. He realized that the celestial devouring insects that were killed by the thunder tribulation were all new bodies. As for the mature bodies that flew out of the heavenly peak, they were not affected by the thunder tribulation at all. Senior Hong Ming, hurry and get everyone out of Devil City. Qianfen used his divine sense to transmit his voice. Hong Ming stood at the peak of the second Devil Peak and looked at the celestial devouring insects falling from the sky. He was extremely excited. He thought that Qianfen would be able to resolve the disaster of Devil City. However, he suddenly heard Qianfen's voice. Young hero Qin, why are we retreating? Is your thunder tribulation about to end? Hong Ming didn't understand. It's not a problem with the lightning tribulation. There's no time to explain now. In any case, Senior, hurry up and lead everyone away. Qin Fan had already used all of his skills, but he still couldn't do anything to the celestial devouring bug. He was already powerless. If it wasn't for the fact that he couldn't stop the thunder tribulation, he would have immediately driven the soaring cloud all to leave this place. There was no longer a need for Hong Ming to shout. Tragic cries suddenly came from the few demonic peaks. The devouring celestial insect is here. My body has been eaten. Everyone, run for your lives. These bugs are too terrifying. They can even eat up the formation bit by bit. There were 307 Devil Peaks crisscrossing in the Devil Peak territory. The higher the ranking of the Devil Peaks, the more powerful the defensive array formation. As for the Devil Peaks that were ranked at the bottom, they were only supported by a Grade 5 or Grade 6 defensive array formation. When they saw several mountains in the distance being engulfed by the black fog, to the point where they could no longer see their original appearances, the hearts of the cultivators on the other demon mountains fell into a state of chaos. It seemed that this disaster was still unavoidable. Doesn't young hero Qin's thunder tribulation have an effect on the devouring immortal bug? Why are these insects still able to rush up to the demon peak? No matter how powerful the thunder tribulation is, Qin Fan is still one person. There are millions of these celestial devouring bugs. How can they be eliminated so easily? It seems that Demonic City has completely fallen. Everyone, run for your lives. Some cultivators on the demon peaks, whose formations had not been broken, had already escaped on their swords. They might as well continue to hide in the demon peaks. As soon as their figures dashed out of the sky, they were instantly caught up by the black fog. Then, their bodies disappeared without a trace. The situation was completely out of control. The entire sky above the Demon Peak territory was covered by the black fog, enveloped by an intense aura of death. Ouyang Tian said furiously, "I told you that guy was acting. Do you believe me now?" The Thunder Monarch and the rest had cold expressions. There was a hint of undetectable panic in their eyes. Nie Yuan suddenly exclaimed, Qin Fan has been sitting in the black fog for so long. Why hasn't he been engulfed? Everyone had really neglected this problem. Now that Nie Yuan mentioned it, the few true form realm mighty figures all revealed expressions of disbelief. Moments later, Jinbei raised his voice and shouted, "The armor on his body is strange. That aura, it's immortal armor." Immortal armor? The Thunder Monarch's eyes almost dropped to the ground. He said in a trembling voice, "Brother Jinbei, are you sure?" In fact, Jinbei had never seen immortal armor before. However, when his spirit consciousness scanned Qin Fan's body, he sensed a hidden aura that was similar to the immortal stone. That aura was pure and mysterious. It was definitely not an aura that belonged to the Divine Supreme Continent. It must be immortal armor. No wonder he could remain unscathed in the black fog. That immortal armor has the effect of restraining immortal insects. Elder Jinbei's eyes flickered. A few of them were excited. Demonic City was about to be destroyed. Even the few true form realm mighty figures were not confident that they could fight their way out. However, if they could snatch Qin Fan's immortal armor, they would definitely survive. Swoosh! After pressing the pass button, Ouyang Tian was the first to rush out of the Demon Peak. He did not even use a flying sword. Instead, he walked in the void. However, his speed was faster than a flying sword. In just a few breaths, he arrived above Qin Fan's head. "Little ant, I already said on the through Heaven Peak that I would crush your nascent soul with my own hands." Bang! His voice was still echoing in the sky when a vital essence giant hand fell. However, before it landed on the ground, a loud sound came from Qin Fan's body. He roared and flew into the sky, violent vital essence sweeping the surroundings. "You broke through?" Ouyang Tian was shocked. Under the interference of the true form realm mighty figures and the destruction of the immortal insects, Qin Fan had actually successfully broken through to the disaster transformation state. The vital essence handprint collapsed the plane, but Qin Fan was no longer there. When his cold voice echoed in the sky, he was already hovering above Ouyang Tian's head with his saber. You came the right time. I'll use you to practice first. Chapter 2112. After breaking through to the first stage disaster transformation realm, Qin Fun felt the quintessential essence in his body explode. It was as if his body was about to explode. As soon as he finished speaking, he slashed with his saber. The ruler slashed down, tearing a crack in the sky. The crack was filled with resplendent purple light. It looked like a gorgeous Milky Way under the black fog. The million cultivators on the demon peak sank instantly. Some fiendish cultivators who were fleeing in the sky also stopped instantly. The black fog engulfed those stunned cultivators. Their bodies disappeared rapidly, but they didn't notice it at all. Time seemed to stop for half a beat. By the time Ouyang Tian woke up, the saber chi had already exploded on his body. Quintessential essence surged like the sea and immediately destroyed the armor on his body. In the end, even his body was blasted into a bloody mess. Bang! With just one slash, Ouyang Tian fell from the sky and sank into a huge pit. The million fiendish cultivators woke up with a start and fell into an even deeper shock. Ouyang Tian was one of the few true-form almighties in Mo Du, but he was as weak as an ant in Qin Fun's hands. Even the Thunder Monarch and the other true-form almighties were stunned. They couldn't help but feel lucky that they hadn't attacked Qin Fun earlier. Young hero Qin, what should we do now? Hong Ming had already rushed out of Demon Peak number 2. He had wanted to help when he realized that Ouyang Tian was going to attack Qin Fun. However, when he came out, he realized that the battle had already ended. Senior, quickly take everyone away from here. These spirit-devouring bugs have already matured. We can't kill them at all, Qin Fun said quickly. How can this be? I just saw that young hero Qin's thunder tribulation killed countless immortal bugs. Hong Ming didn't understand the situation. Those are just larvae. The spirit-devouring bugs reproduce by splitting their spiritual consciousness. They can split into countless new bodies at any time. Qin Fun had to tell Hong Ming the truth. Hong Ming was stunned. They could actually split into new bodies with their spiritual consciousness. This reproduction method was too terrifying. Many fiendish cultivators heard their conversation. The last hope in their hearts was completely shattered. A large number of cultivators had already started to escape. Even though they knew that they might die faster if they rushed out of the Demon Peak, at least they had a chance to survive. They could only wait for death if they stayed on the Demon Peak. The situation had reached an irreversible stage. The entire sky above Mo Du was covered in black fog. It was like hell. The Thunder Monarch, Nie Yuan, and a few other true-form almighties also started to flee for their lives. In the face of this group of terrifying immortal bugs, their powerful quintessential essence attacks were completely useless. However, Jinbei did not flee toward the crowd. Instead, he leaped toward Qin Fun. His hands were full of true essence, and he could unleash an earth-shattering force at any time. Amidst the chaos, no one noticed Jinbei's actions. Even Qin Fun didn't notice his approach. Only Jinbei knew that it was useless to keep running away. Even if he managed to escape from Demonic City, these celestial insects would devour the other regions. The real way to survive was to snatch away Qin Fun's celestial armor. Whoosh! However, before the golden tablet could even get close, a hurricane came from afar. The hurricane surged like a long dragon, and wherever it went, the magnetic field changed. The airflow stirred up the shape of a vortex in the sky, and even the wind froze. It was as if the void had been frozen. Some people had already discovered the strange changes in the distant sky, and exclamations rose and fell. The hurricane seemed to be extremely far away, but in just a few breaths, it was already right in front of them. What's that? There seems to be a person in the hurricane. Who is that? How can he be so fast? Just as everyone started discussing, the figure had already appeared in the sky above Demonic Peak, and a low growl was heard. Don't block the way, or you will die. This sentence was directed at Jinbei, as Jinbei happened to be in the path of the person's rapid advance. Jinbei's first thought was that this person had also seen Qin Fun's celestial armor and had come for it. How dare you behave atrociously in front of me? You must have a death wish. Jinbei did not back down, as the celestial armor on Qin Fun was his only chance of survival. As soon as he finished speaking, the figure had already approached. It seemed as if he had merely lifted his hand, and a suffocating, destructive aura swept up. Rumble. Jinbei's body exploded in the sky, and his flesh and blood flew everywhere. As for his baby body, which was fleeing in panic, it also exploded in an instant. The intense explosions continued. A strange aura floated in the demonic peak. The million fiendish cultivators were dumbfounded. The person who had just been killed was Demonic City's top itinerant cultivator expert, Senior Jinbei. Before Hongming had attained the true form realm level 2, he had been the mighty with the highest cultivation level in all of Demonic City. However, such an expert, who could only look up to him, had been killed in an instant by a person who had suddenly appeared. This person's strength was even above Qin Fun's. However, what happened next was even more shocking. They even forgot about Jinbei's death for a moment. After the mysterious person destroyed Jinbei, he continued to advance without stopping. In the end, he flew to the highest peak of the demonic peak, held a small gourd in his hand, and was sucking the celestial insects that filled the sky. The small gourd was a Dharma treasure, but its suction force was shocking. It actually formed a hurricane in midair, and all the celestial devouring insects that floated nearby were instantly sucked in. On the peak of the mountain, one person and one gourd were sucking in all the celestial insects that filled the sky. In less than half an hour, the black fog in the sky above Demonic City gradually dissipated, and it felt as if the sun had reappeared. The mysterious person stood under the light like a savior of the world. Oh my God, who is this person? He can even subdue the celestial devouring insects? He killed Senior Jinbei with one palm. There doesn't seem to be such a godly person in the entire West Sea continent. Could he be a top-notch expert who specially rushed over from the East Sea continent to rescue Demonic City? That doesn't make sense. The identity of the person who had come was a mystery. His body was enveloped by a layer of dazzling golden light. He had appeared for so long that no one could see his face under the golden light. Even Qin Fun was shocked. He had already tried to use his spiritual consciousness to scan the area. However, when his spiritual consciousness reached a few hundred meters around the mysterious person, it could no longer scan the area. Senior Hongming, do you know this person? Qin Fan used his spiritual consciousness to send a voice transmission to Hongming. Hongming suddenly woke up with a start. She subconsciously shook her head and said, I don't know him. This is definitely not a cultivator from Demonic City. He shouldn't be a cultivator from the West Sea continent either. Although I can't see through his realm, this person has at least surpassed the true form realm. Surpassed the true form realm? Qin Fan was shocked. The only realm he knew at the moment was the true form realm. Could the other party have already ascended to immortality? Senior Hongming, are you saying that this person is from the celestial world? Qin Fan immediately asked. Hongming smiled bitterly and said, How can the ascension be so simple? There is still the real God realm above the true form realm. It is rumored that only those who have reached the peak of the real God realm are qualified to comprehend the ascension. As for whether or not they can ascend to immortality, that is still another matter. Qin Fan was shocked. It seemed like he was still very far away from the ascension. Senior, do you think that person is at the real God realm? That is hard to say. In any case, you and I are no match for him. No one in the entire Demonic City can stop him. I can only hope that he is here to help. Otherwise, Demonic City will still be in danger. Hongming let out a long sigh. Chapter 21:13. After the mysterious man appeared, the sky above Mo Do seemed to be bleached white. The black mist became fainter and fainter until it disappeared. Countless God-devouring bugs were taken into the man's gourd. Nobody knew what kind of treasure the gourd was. It was only the size of a palm, but it seemed to have an endless space. Little pig, is that something like a storage ring? Even Qin Fan didn't understand. Ordinary storage rings can't subdue God-devouring bugs. Master, I suspect it's a small world, Little Pig said. Chinfin's expression changed drastically. Small world? You mean like the astral space? That's right, Master. That gourd is most likely a small world. Actually, when a small world is refined to a certain extent, it can transform into all kinds of magic treasures and be carried around. Chinfun had obtained the astral space long ago, but this was the first time he heard that a small world could be refined. Did this mean that the astral space could also be refined into a magic treasure? How do we refine a small world? Master, this method is uncertain. It mainly depends on the nature of the small world. Small worlds come in all shapes and sizes. Some are like the astral space you have, which is a small world for cultivation and survival. Some are like the gourd in the mysterious man's hand, which is a place to store immortal bugs. There are also small worlds that are collapsed spaces. Cultivators who enter them will most likely die. Therefore, different small worlds are refined in different ways. Actually, Master changed the astral space from its initial chaotic state to the cultivation holy land with dense spirit chi. This is a type of refinement. After Little Pig's explanation, Chinfun understood the small world better. At this moment, an old voice came from the sky. It traveled into everyone's ears and echoed in their minds. Who can tell me where these bugs came from? Chinfun immediately came back to his senses. The person who spoke was the mysterious man. All the sects in Mo.Do were silent. Many people were still in shock. The few powerful cultivators who were awake were trembling in fear. They didn't dare to reply. Even the Thunder Monarch and the other true four mighty figures were extremely nervous. The mysterious big shot in front of them had easily killed the top itinerant cultivator in Moda City, the Dark Demon Golden Tablet. If he wanted to go on a killing spree, the entire Moda City forces would not be able to stop him. Senior, those devouring celestial bugs flew out from Devil Mountain No. 1. In the end, Hong Ming stood up. The entire Black Demon clan was on tenterhooks. Hong Chenwu's mind was in a mess. A powerful divine sense instantly swept over Hong Ming. Where is Demon Mountain No. 1? Senior, there are a total of 308 demon mountains in Demonic City. The first Demon Mountain was originally here, but after those devouring immortal insects flew out, the Demon Mountain collapsed, Hong Ming said. Take me there now, the mysterious man said coldly. Devil Peak No. 1 has already collapsed and is now in ruins. Senior, do you want to go there? Hong Ming could not understand what the other party was thinking. The man's tone was somewhat impatient as he said, Cut the crap. Whatever I say goes. Although Hong Ming was a little unhappy, there was nothing she could do against a mysterious big shot who had killed the golden tablet with a raise of his hand and had even subdued the devouring immortal bug. Just as the two of them were about to leave, Chinfeng landed beside Hong Ming and said, Senior Hong, I'll go with you. Hong Ming panicked and gave Chinfeng a look. Young hero Qin, stay here and help me take care of Chun Wu and the Black Demon Clan. Chinfeng understood what Hong Ming meant. Hong Ming was not sure if he could come back alive. If he died, someone from the Black Demon Clan would have to come and take care of the Black Demon Clan. However, Chinfeng could not stay in Demonic City to look after the Black Demon Clan. Moreover, he suspected that the reason the mysterious man was looking for Demon Mountain No. 1 was because of the Divine Stone Formation. What's your name? Where are you from? The mysterious man suddenly asked. The entire Demonic City was stunned. Not long ago, the Golden Tablet was killed because he stood in the mysterious man's flight path. It showed that the mysterious man was decisive and arrogant. It was really unexpected that he would take the initiative to ask for Qin Feng's name and where he came from. Even Qin Feng did not expect it. I'm Qin Feng from the North Sand Continent. Qin Feng knew he could not lie in front of a godly almighty like the mysterious man, so he told the truth. When he finished speaking, the entire demonic city could feel an aura fluctuation in the sky. The aura came from the mysterious man, as if his state of mind had fluctuated. The fluctuation of his emotions caused the airflow in the sky to move. It showed how powerful the mysterious man was. Do you know me, Senior? Qin Feng was puzzled. The airflow fluctuation quickly disappeared, and the sky returned to normal, as if it had never happened. Were you the one who caused the 9 transformations true thunder just now? The mysterious man asked without answering. Qin Feng was shocked again. Although many almighties could tell that his breakthrough triggered the thunder tribulation, only the mysterious man in front of him could tell that it was the 9 transformations true thunder. Yes, Senior. Very well. Bring me to Demon Mountain number 1 alone, the mysterious man said. Everyone looked puzzled as they could not understand the situation. Hongming hurriedly said, Senior, let me bring you there. Young hero Qin is not from Demonic City and is not familiar with this place. If you dare to speak out of turn again, I'll kill you with one palm. A gust of cold air shot out from the mysterious man's body. It felt as if the ice heart flame had been released. The temperature of the entire Demon Mountain region plummeted. Qin Feng hurriedly stepped on his flying sword and disappeared into the distance. His voice reverberated in the sky. Senior, let's go. The two of them were extremely fast. When the Demonic City cultivators came back to their senses, they could no longer find them with their divine senses. Father, will Qin Feng be okay? I want to go to Demon Mountain number 1 to find him. Hong Chunwu was extremely flustered. Hongming hurriedly stopped her daughter from acting rashly. She glanced at the sky above Demon Mountain number 1 and said, Young hero Qin seems to know that mysterious Senior. Also, that Senior did not kill the innocent. He is not the demon we thought. Don't worry too much. Let's stay on Demon Mountain number 2 and wait for young hero Qin to return. The Demon Mountain region was in an uproar. Too many things had happened recently, and they could not digest it. That mysterious Senior is so powerful. He single-handedly resolved the disaster of Demonic City. Who is he? Will he come back to destroy Demonic City after going to Demon Mountain number 1? Can't you tell? That person is Qin Feng's backer. They know each other. Some people had a wild imagination, but more people believed in this speculation. Qin Feng had entered the disaster transformation realm at a young age. He had killed Dao Qi, who was at the peak of the disaster transformation realm, and used the power of the lightning tribulation to strike the demonic city's true form mighty figures. On the other hand, that mysterious person had destroyed the golden tablet with one palm and absorbed the sky full of devouring immortal bugs with one gourd. The two of them were simply born partners. Chapter 21:14. Qin Feng stepped on his flying sword and raised his speed to the maximum, but he found that the mysterious elder was following him closely. If the elder didn't know the location of Demon Mountain number 1, he would have left Qin Feng thousands of meters behind in an instant. Qin Feng gave up on the idea of escaping. He knew that even if he used the flying cloud all, he wouldn't be able to escape the elder's divine sense. Senior, you went to Demon Mountain number 1 to look for the devouring insects, right? Qin Feng broke the silence. The mysterious elder didn't answer. Qin Feng continued, Actually, when Demon Mountain number 1 opened not long ago, I entered the sky-piercing main peak. Those devouring insects flew out from there. Later, I destroyed the entire sky-piercing main peak in order to kill the insects, causing the entire Demon Mountain number 1 to collapse. There are no devouring insects left. Qin Feng wanted to dispel the elder's idea of going to Demon Mountain number 1. After all, there was an immortal stone formation hidden in the cave abode. It would be troublesome if it was discovered. What did you see at the place where the devouring insects were? The mysterious elder suddenly asked, ignoring Qin Feng's words. The flying sword under Qin Feng's feet shook a little. He felt uneasy. I didn't find anything. The mysterious elder said indifferently, the devouring insects are insects from the immortal world. Although they are extremely powerful, the environment they need to grow in is extremely harsh. These insects can only evolve and mature with the help of the heavenly demon formation. Although the devouring insects in Demon City are not fully mature, they have gone through several transformations. Qin Feng's expression changed. He had a bad feeling that the elder already knew the secret of the immortal stone formation. The mysterious elder continued. As for the heavenly demon formation, it needs the phoenix flower as the formation eye, and an extremely powerful energy supply. Even in the 4 great continents of the Divine Supreme Continent, there is no place that can support the heavenly demon formation. Do you know why? Why? Qin Fan asked subconsciously. Because the devouring insects are not from the Divine Supreme Continent, and the heavenly demon formation is not a formation of the Divine Supreme Continent. Therefore, there is no spiritual source on the Divine Supreme Continent that can satisfy them, the mysterious elder said. Qin Fan's thoughts raced. He guessed that the elder already knew the secret of the immortal stone formation, but he wasn't 100% sure. If it is as Senior said, how did the devouring insects above Demon City evolve? Didn't this mean that the great heavenly demon formation had appeared in Shanghai? What spirit source does this formation rely on to support it? Qin Feng asked, even though he already knew the answer. He was trying to find out the other party's background. The old man chuckled. Everything will be clear once we reach the first Devil Mountain. The bad premonition in Qin Feng's heart became stronger and stronger. He had even thought of taking him somewhere else to bluff his way through, but now it seemed like that idea was completely childish. After the time it took for a few incense sticks to burn, the two of them arrived at the foot of Devil Mountain No. 1. The towering mountain peak had turned into ruins, and even the array gate at the entrance of the Devil Mountain had disappeared. Suddenly, a few black shadows flew out of the ruins. They floated in the air for a moment and instantly shot toward Qin Feng and the mysterious man. The speed of those black shadows was so fast that Qin Feng didn't even have time to react. His divine sense was already bound, and when the feeling of death enveloped his body, it quickly disappeared. The mysterious man was holding a small gourd and had already put those black shadows into it. He said with some excitement, "There are actually mature, devouring insects here. It seems that there really is a great heavenly demon formation." Without Qin Feng leading the way, the mysterious man had already flown into the cave where the immortal stone array was hidden. Qin Feng immediately followed. He discovered that the group of mature, devouring immortal insects had all flown away, and those immortal insects were a serious threat to his life. The cave abode had collapsed, and the immortal stone formation had been destroyed by Qin Feng. As for the spirit quintessence pool and the phoenix flower, they had already been taken away by Qin Feng. "Someone has been here," the mysterious old man said coldly. Qin Feng became nervous. Just as he was thinking about how to explain, he suddenly felt the other party's powerful divine sense sweep over. The moment the divine sense landed on him, he had already lost the ability to move. He didn't even have time to hide in the astral world. "You have been here. Did you take away all the immortal stones?" The old man asked coldly. "Senior, what are you doing? I have never been here." Qin Feng didn't dare to admit it. He was deeply afraid that he would lose his life in the next second. "You don't have to quibble. Maybe you can save your life if you answer my question seriously." The other party's divine sense seemed to be able to see through everything. It made Qin Feng feel like his entire body was being seen through. Qin Feng was silent for a moment and finally told the truth. "I have indeed been here." The old man's tone became agitated. "Is there a mortal stone formation here? I don't want anything else. Give me all the immortal stones." "I did find the immortal stones, but I used some to break through. I don't have many left now." "How many are there in total?" "Put away your divine sense first. I will give you all the immortal stones." As soon as Qin Feng finished speaking, he immediately felt the restraint on his body disappear. However, he didn't have the slightest thought of escaping. Through the mysterious old man's move just now, he had already deeply realized the difference in strength between them. It was not an exaggeration to say that the difference was like heaven and earth. Qin Feng's thoughts moved slightly, and dozens of immortal stones fell to the ground. The mysterious old man casually grabbed them and took all the immortal stones. "It really is the stones from the immortal stone compass. Do you have any more? It's best not to hide it. Otherwise, your life will be in danger," the old man said. Qin Feng had already given all the immortal stones to the old man because he knew that he couldn't play tricks in front of such a godly venerable. "I found a total of 108 immortal stones here. I used 28 to break through from the cauldron filling state to the disaster transformation state. The remaining 80 immortal stones are all given to you, Qin Fan said. The old man's divine sense scanned Qin Fan and then nodded. You are sensible. It is fate that we meet for the second time. Take this secret manual. Qin Fan was shocked. The old man said that they met for the second time. However, when Qin Fan glanced at the secret manual, his previous shock disappeared and turned into a new shock. This is the third chapter of the creation of heaven and earth skill. The old man didn't seem interested in the secret manual and said indifferently, this secret manual has a total of 4 chapters. I still haven't collected the 4th chapter. You don't have it either, right? Qin Fan had already guessed the old man's identity and immediately asked, Are you a senior from the Purple Cloud Mountains secret realm? The old man sneered. Huh, back then, you kept calling me an old monster. Qin Fan was extremely embarrassed. He never thought that he would meet the old monster sealed in the cave abode again. Thinking about how he cheated the old man of his treasures and didn't do anything for him, Qin Fan once again worried about his safety. I said I won't kill you, so I won't. Although you didn't save me that time, you at least talked to me. You might not know, but before you, I haven't talked to anyone for 100 years. The old man saw through Qin Fan's thoughts. Chapter 21:15. The old man paused for a moment as his eyes lit up. He looked Qin Fan up and down before continuing. Of course, the main reason why I'm not killing you is because of your identity as a tribulation taker. Qin Fan was shocked. Senior, you can tell I'm a tribulation taker? The old man laughed. Haha. Any cultivator who triggers a lightning tribulation is a tribulation taker chosen by the heavenly axiom. Most of these people are killed by the lightning tribulation, but those who survive the lightning tribulation will definitely become an ultimate god. Qin Fan first learned that he was a tribulation taker from barefoot immortal Yunding. He did not believe it first, but he had begun to accept it after experiencing various things over the years. May I know your name, senior? Qin Fan asked with a fist salute. Sigh, it's been so many years since anyone asked for my name. I've almost forgotten it myself. The old man looked up to the sky and sighed. After thinking for a long time, he said with uncertainty, It should be He Xuan. Qin Fan was speechless. He had almost forgotten his own name. How many years had this old man lived? Senior I've heard a senior talk about the 1,000-year calamity. According to him, every time a calamity comes, a tribulation taker will appear. Moreover, there will be more than one tribulation taker. Is this true? Qin Fan wanted to confirm. He Xuan nodded and said, Yes. That's what the ancient book said. Then how can I find other tribulation takers? Qin Fan felt insignificant ever since he met He Xuan. He believed that the Millennium Tribulation would be devastating, and he felt powerless to face it alone. The heavenly axiom has its own arrangements. He Xuan's answer made Qin Fan want to bite someone. Senior, can you help me face the tribulation? After all, this is a tribulation for all human cultivators in the divine continent. If you fail to face the tribulation, won't you die? Qin Fan deliberately emphasized the seriousness of the problem. He Xuan chuckled. There's no need for you to play tricks in front of me, you little brat. I've eaten more pills than you've eaten air. Only you tribulation takers can deal with the 1,000-year tribulation. It's useless even if others participate. Besides, I still have a big grudge to settle, so I don't have the time to fool around with you. Qin Fan knew he could no longer hold on to his backer, as he had no right to speak in front of a peak ultimate god. Since Senior, he doesn't care about the lives of hundreds of millions of cultivators on the ultimate god continent. I can only respect your personal choice. However, you should at least leave me some treasures so that I, the tribulation taker, can protect myself. Qin Fan said seriously. He Xuan was amused. You Ant, your abilities are mediocre, but your eloquence can be said to be unparalleled in the world. Who said this old man didn't give you anything? He also learned about the Eastfield Continent's Kobe clan's secret from Chu Fan's letter. He believed that the Immortal Stone Formation was set up by the Kobe clan. No matter what the truth was, it wasn't important now. Qin Fun's priority now was to find the Immortal Stone Formation's new base and solve the crisis of the West Sea Continent's crack. Senior He, with my current formation skills, I'm afraid it will be difficult to find the next base of the Immortal Stone Formation. Please help me. Qin Fun knew He Xiuhin knew that since he could tell him the secret of the Immortal Stone Formation, he must have a way to find the new base. He Xiuhin sighed. This old man owes you. Even I will have a hard time finding the next base, but I can try my best. Qin Fun cupped his fists and said, Thank you for your help, Senior He. Once I fix the Immortal Stone Formation, you will be the benefactor of the West Sea Continent's cultivators. Huh, don't talk nonsense with me. Even if I become the world's savior, what's the use? Do you think I want the worship of those ants? They're useless to me, He Xiuhin said nonchalantly. Qin Fun knew that he wasn't being arrogant, but a pride that came from his heart. This pride came from his unfathomable realm. It wasn't an exaggeration to say that the West Sea Continent's cultivators were ants in his eyes. Help me protect me. Deducing the Immortal Stone Formation is very tiring. I can't be distracted. After saying a few words, He Xiuhin sat down cross-legged. He took out a few formation flags and threw them in front of him. Then he scattered a few immortal stones. The formation flags were arranged in a strange way that even Qin Fun couldn't understand. Although there were only 18 formation flags, they were not fixed. The 18 formation flags were constantly changing their positions, forming different formations in the void. Qin Fun was just watching from the side, but he had unknowingly gained a lot of new insights into formations. Time flew by. A month later, He Xiuhin suddenly clapped his hands and shouted, I found the new base. It's near Quicksand River. Chapter 21:16. Quicksand River? What is that place? Qin Fun asked. He Xiuhin threw out another formation flag. When the formation flag hovered in the air, a huge formation screen appeared in the void, displaying an image. Inside the formation screen was a boundless desert. Just looking at the image, one could feel the heat and barren. This extremely harsh environment was like the Nine Heavens snow region, completely unsuitable for human cultivators to live in. This is the place. It should be in the West Sea region, but I can't find its exact location. You'll have to find it yourself, He Xiuhin said. As time was tight, Qin Fun cupped his fist to express his gratitude and immediately set off. He first returned to Charm City to ask Hong Ming about the situation of Quicksand River. On the way back, Qin Fun read the 3rd chapter of the Creation of Heaven and Earth skill. This chapter was called the Creation chapter, which mainly explained the knowledge of creating small worlds. Small worlds were extremely complicated and difficult to understand. Even though Qin Fun already had the astral space, he couldn't understand the essence of the 3rd chapter in a short period of time. When he arrived at Charm City, he was immediately shocked by the scene in front of him. He was no longer in the mood to study the Creation of Heaven and Earth skill. In just a short month, the sky above Charm City had undergone earth-shattering changes. The originally blue sky and white clouds were now shrouded in a gray haze. Cracks and holes could be seen everywhere, as if it had been eaten by astral beasts. The millions of demonic cultivators that had gathered at the bottom of the Demon Peak were long gone. It was difficult to even see a shadow outside. Qin Fun realized that the disaster brought about by the destruction of the Immortal Stone Formation was more severe than he had imagined. It was even more destructive than the celestial devouring bug. Who are you? This is Demon Peak number 2. Outsiders are not allowed to approach. As soon as Qin Fun landed outside Demon Peak number 2, a few demonic cultivator guards flew out. However, before they could do anything, another old voice came from the peak. Don't be rude. This is Senior Qin Fun. Hearing Qin Fun's name, the expressions of the demonic cultivator guards changed drastically. They immediately displayed a humble attitude to welcome Qin Fun. Ever since his breakthrough a month ago triggered the lightning calamity battle, Qin Fun's name had spread throughout Charm City. Everyone knew him. Young Hero Qin is back. It really is young Hero Qin. More than a dozen figures flew out from the 2nd Devil Mountain. The one in the lead was the current Devil King of the Black Demon Clan, Hong Ming. Following behind him were the great elders of the Red Demon clan with high status. The elders stood in 2 rows, all of them at the disaster transformation realm, but they bowed, not daring to look at Qin. Although it had been more than a month, the scene of Qin killing disaster transformation state peak stage Dao Qi with 1 strike, and using the power of the lightning tribulation to blast the true form mighty figures was unforgettable. Just as Hong Ming spoke, he landed in front of Qin. When he saw that Qin had returned unscathed, he was so moved that tears streamed down his face. Senior Hong Ming, sorry for worrying you for the past month. Qin felt a surge of warmth in his heart. In the divine world, a strange place, he had made many friends like Hong Ming, who were more like family than him. As long as he could come back safely, everything was fine. Wait a moment, I'll go tell Chun Wu. If she knows that you're back, she'll definitely be very happy. Before Hong Ming left, Qin said, Senior, don't tell Chun Wu that I'm back yet. The entire West Ocean continent is in a huge disaster now. I still have some business to attend to. The smile on Hong Ming's face disappeared, and he said seriously, Young hero Qin, are you talking about the space splitting? Do you have a way to resolve this crisis? Senior Hong Ming, do you know about the Quicksand River? Qin asked. Quicksand River? You want to go there? That's a dangerous place. I'd advise you not to go. Hong Ming frowned. The Quicksand River was terrifying enough to make a true form realm cultivator change his expression at the mention of it. However, Qin had no way out now that the disaster was imminent. Even if it was the 18 levels of hell, he had to force himself to go there. Senior Hong Ming, there are some things that I can't explain, but I can tell you clearly that only by going to the Quicksand River can we have a chance to resolve the West Ocean continent's disaster. Qin was extremely serious. Hong Ming looked incredulous. He couldn't understand how the Quicksand River and the West Ocean continent's space splitting could be connected. However, since Qin had said this, Hong Ming chose to believe him. He had seen Qin's many extraordinary techniques. He had helped him get rid of the elixir poison, used the thunder tribulation to blast a true form realm mighty figure, and even survived that mysterious person. Actually, Hong Ming was very curious about how Qin had escaped from that mysterious person. However, he didn't ask. He knew that there had to be some unspeakable secret. Young hero Qin, the Quicksand River is the territory of the Dead Sea. The environment there is terrible, and not even a blade of grass grows there. Only ghost cultivators can survive there. Human cultivators and fiendish cultivators basically die there. Hong Ming explained the situation of the Quicksand River in detail. Qin hadn't expected the Quicksand River to be near the Dead Sea. If possible, he didn't want to provoke ghost cultivators. They had too many techniques and strange cultivation techniques. They were definitely not easy to deal with. However, Qin had no choice now. Since Buhun had predicted that the new immortal stone array would appear near the Quicksand River, he had to find the array as soon as possible. Young hero Qin, if you really want to go to the Quicksand River, I will go with you. Hong Ming's tone was firm. There's no need. I can go alone. Senior won't be able to help much. After learning about the situation of the Quicksand River, Qin didn't want Hong Ming to take the risk with him. However, Hong Ming insisted on going. Young hero Qin, I won't be the only one going with you. We can also get a large group of powerful figures. Now, not only are there cracks appearing in the sky above Shanghai, Snow Domain City is also having the same phenomenon. The pinnacle monarchs of the 2 regions are having a hard time dealing with this. A few days ago, we even had a large meeting and gathered more than 20 truth realization state masters from both regions to discuss countermeasures. However, the appearance of the cracks was too sudden. No one could find the reason. If young hero Qin really has a way to resolve this crisis, why don't you gather those true form realm mighty figures to work together? That way, the chances of success will be greatly increased. Qin was a little tempted. If the Quicksand River was really as terrifying as Hong Ming said, given his current strength, it wouldn't bode well for him to kill his way over alone. He might even be killed by powerful ghost cultivators before he could find the immortal stone array. However, if he gathered all the true form realm mighty figures of Shanghai and Snowfield City to go together. All sorts of monsters would be scared away. All right, let's split up. I will go to Snowfield City first. Senior, you will be responsible for gathering all the true form realm mighty figures of Shanghai. Then, we will meet at the entrance of the Dead Sea, at the Light Tower in Snowfield City. More than 10 top powerful figures gathered together. This scene had happened a few months ago. At that time, everyone had been discussing the sky ceiling array that Qin Fun had set up. Now, they were worried about the cracks that had appeared in the void. There is no doubt that those cracks are caused by the spatial displacement. Right now, Snowfield City has become hell. In fact, it is even more terrifying than hell. If we are not careful, even we will be sucked into the spatial displacement and die instantly. Snowfield City's Deputy City Lord Wang Zhongming explained the current situation. Everyone looked solemn. Even though they had reached the disaster transformation realm, or even the true form realm, they were helpless in the face of collapsing space. I originally planned to release the news and ask the Ghost King of the Dead Sea to help us break the sky ceiling array above Snowfield City. Who would have thought that this sky ceiling array would be so powerful? In just half a year, it has already started devouring the void, said Snowfield City Lord Shang Zhongtian. I heard that a devouring celestial bug appeared in Shanghai some time ago. Do you think that the crack in the void this time was caused by the celestial bug? Asked Gao Jingchao, the family leader of Snowfield City's 8-star Gao family. The number 1 itinerant senior, Silent Spirit, shook his head. The crack in the void this time clearly has nothing to do with the celestial bug. This is the power of the sky ceiling array. It seems like we can't stay in Snowfield City any longer. When Silent Spirit mentioned leaving Snowfield City, many people were unwilling. They had already stepped into the ranks of the top-notch experts here. Which one of them wasn't in existence that could destroy the heavens, the earth, and the air? Moreover, they had established huge sects and forces. If they really left, all of their efforts would be wasted. Is there really no other way? Sect leader say something, said Xia Wanshi, the sect leader of the 8-star Heaven Cultivation sect. Everyone looked at He Qianjin. As the sect leader of the most powerful formation sect in Snowfield City, He Qianjin was everyone's hope at the moment. After all, this disaster was related to the formation, so they could only rely on He Qianjin. He Qianjin sighed. Sigh. Senior brothers and junior brothers, that sky ceiling array is a level 9 ancient formation. Given my level 7 array king level, how can I resolve it? After a moment of silence, he continued, there is only one way to resolve this crisis, and that is to find the person who set up the formation. Did Deputy City Lord Wang Lu mention that the person who set up the formation was a human cultivator? Wang Lu Zhongming said. When the sky ceiling array appeared in the sky above Snowfield, sect leader Xia and I were the first to arrive. Senior Silent Spirit also came later. When I arrived, I sensed the aura of a ghost cultivator. At first, I thought it was the work of a ghost cultivator, but later I found the deputy head of the Ninein Temple, Tao Huegu, and learned that he saw a body condensation realm level 4 human cultivator set up the sky ceiling array. As for that cultivator's appearance, Tao Huegu only gave a simple description. I can't restore it. The last trace of hope in everyone's hearts was shattered. Putting aside the fact that Wang Lu Zhongming couldn't restore the appearance of the person who set up the formation. So what if he could? There were trillions of cultivators in Snowfield City. Finding a person was like finding a needle in a haystack. Moreover, the ghost cultivators of the Dead Sea were all cunning and sinister. Who could be sure that what Tao Huegu said was true? Just as everyone was in a deadlock, a clear voice came from outside. The person you're looking for is me. I can lead everyone to resolve the crisis in Snowfield City. As soon as he finished speaking, Gao Jingchao sent out a palm. The wild true yuan instantly condensed into a palm. It was like a cloud falling from the sky. Seeing this, Shang Zhongtian could only shake his head and sigh. He had already given Qin Feng a chance to live, but since this person didn't cherish it, then he couldn't dissuade Gao Jingchao. Just when everyone had already sentenced Qin Feng to death in their hearts, a loud sound exploded in their ears. Light Tower instantly exploded. The roof tiles flew everywhere, and the building collapsed into ruins. Everyone was exposed on the empty mountaintop. After a moment of silence, someone exclaimed, "Huh? That brat is still there?" Everyone's expression changed. They immediately looked over, and their eyes almost fell out of their sockets. So the loud sound came from Gao Jingchao's body. His true yuan surged, and his aura was shocking. The armor on Gao Jingchao's body instantly shattered, and even his true body was blown to pieces. A mature nascent soul flew out from the explosion at an extremely fast speed, but Qin Fen reached out his hand to grab it. A giant hand made of true essence floated in the air, growing larger and larger until it seemed to cover half of the sky. Gao Jingchao's nascent soul was like the monkey sun, unable to escape from the palm of the Buddha. Crack! A faint cracking sound came from the void and was clearly heard by all the great existences. At this moment, everyone's expression changed. They had heard Gao Jingchao yelling that he was going to crush Qin Feng's nascent soul. Now, the truth had been reversed. His nascent soul had been crushed by Qin Feng. The battle seemed to have ended before it had started. A peak disaster transformation realm cultivator had been completely destroyed. Many people didn't even see clearly the strike of Tsang Qi that Qin Feng had used. It was the power of that strike that had destroyed Gao Jingchao's body. The aftermath of the true yuan was hard to eliminate. Explosions could be heard from the empty mountaintop from time to time. Only after Gao Jingchao had died did the group of Snowfield City cultivators come back to their senses. Family leader Gao was killed in seconds? How is that possible? Where did that young man come from? Why is he so unfamiliar? He shouldn't be a cultivator from Snowfield City, right? To be able to kill a peak disaster transformation realm cultivator in seconds, his true realm must be above the true form realm. It's incredible that he has reached the true form realm at such a young age. Many powerful beings sighed with emotion. Any one of them was an extremely talented cultivator in Shuiyu City. However, after seeing Qin Feng, the pride that these people had built up over the years instantly vanished into thin air. I originally wanted to kill all of you, but considering that Snowfield City and Mo are in danger, I will keep you alive to make up for your mistakes. After killing Gao Jingchao, Qin Feng's expression didn't change at all. It was as if he had just killed an ant. He was looking at Wang Lu Zhongming, Ji Ling, and the others. These old fellows had tried to kill Chu Fan and rob him in his flying immortal cave abode a few months ago. Fortunately, Qin Feng had been lucky enough to survive. His words shocked the crowd again. If someone else had said what Qin Feng had said, these top experts would have laughed their heads off. However, after seeing Qin Feng's power, Wang Lu Zhongming and the others didn't even have the confidence to stand up and refute him. Fellow Taoists, the situation is critical now. How about we put our personal grudges aside? Sheng Zhongtian found a way for them to step down. Wang Lu Zhongming was the first to express his stance. I will listen to City Lord Sheng's arrangements. Humph, I just killed a disaster transformation realm ant. What's there to be proud of? Do you know that the difference between a disaster transformation realm and a true form realm is like heaven and earth? Ji Ling grumbled. He wanted to regain some face. However, as soon as he finished speaking, a violent magnetic field rippled on the mountain peak. Then, a huge blue fireball appeared in the void like a rising sun. The fireball was extremely cold, instantly freezing the air on the mountain peak. Everyone was in Qin Feng's field. When they realized the danger, they realized that their bodies had been frozen and they couldn't move at all. At that moment, Qin Feng casually swung his saber. The weapon in his hand had a strange shape. It looked like a huge ruler, but when the saber swung down, the ruler swept up a dazzling purple light. The purple light flashed and disappeared, exploding on Ji Ling's body. Rumble. The commotion was so intense that the entire mountain peak was shaking. Qin Feng's attacks were all killing moves. He coordinated with the field, the Ice Heart Flame, and the ruler to launch a sure-kill attack. A series of moves were connected seamlessly. In the blink of an eye, the three attacks were unleashed to the extreme. By the time Ji Ling realized that death was approaching, his body had already exploded into ice shards and scattered on the mountain peak. The human-shaped nascent soul hadn't flown far before it was frozen by the snow and ice that filled the sky. A subtle cracking sound came from midair, and dense, spiderweb-like cracks appeared on the surface of the ice layer. A few seconds later, there was a loud explosion. The human-shaped nascent soul also exploded into ice shards and scattered on the mountain peak. The mountain peak was silent for a long time. Wang Lu Zhongming and the others felt a chill in their hearts. They couldn't even feel the cold temperature around them. Dead? Big brother Ji Ling is also dead? Senior Ji Ling is the #1 itinerant cultivator in Snowfield City. He reached the true form realm more than 10 years ago. How could he die? Chapter 21:18. In fact, the ones who were the most shocked were Wang Lu Zhongming, Xia Wanshi, and the others. They had all participated in the exploration of Nine Heaven Snow Domain, so they knew very well what stage Qin Fen was at that time. However, it was precisely such an ant that returned mightily a few months later and annihilated Gao Jingqiao and Silent Spirit with a raise of his hand. Even Qin Fen was somewhat surprised. He knew his current strength very well. He was invincible among the disaster transformation realm, but killing a true form mighty being was still a challenge. It was just like how he had heavily injured Ouyang Tian on the Demon Peak a month ago, but he had not killed him. As for being able to kill the first stage true form realm Ji Ling in one move, there was a lot of luck involved. First of all, Ji Ling had not expected that Qin Fen would still dare to attack when Sheng Zhongtian had come to the rescue. Furthermore, all his attacks had been killing moves, leaving him no room to retaliate or resist. Now that he had established his might, Qin Fen put on the airs of an otherworldly expert and said, "Is there anyone else who isn't convinced by me? You could step forward." The mountain peak was completely silent. Silent Spirit's strength was already at the top of the group, and probably only Sheng Zhongtian could compete with him. On the other hand, Sheng Zhongtian had no enmity with Qin Fen. At most, he would be a little dissatisfied with Qin Feng's arrogance, but he would not shed all pretense of cordiality with Qin Fen over such a small matter. Moreover, the survival of Snowfield City was entrusted to Qin Fen. "Young hero Qin, did you say that you found the location of the Sealed Sky Formation?" Sheng Zhongtian wisely changed the topic. Qin Fen retracted his true yuan and said, "That sky-sealing grand formation is called the Immortal Stone Grand Formation. It's probably set up by the Eastfield Continent's Kobe sect. Once the Immortal Stone Grand Formation operates normally, the spiritual energy in the entire Divine Supreme Continent will gradually thin out, turning it into a cultivation wasteland." Their expressions changed drastically. This was the first time they had heard of the Immortal Stone Array. "Young hero Qin, where did you hear this news from? Isn't the Eastfield Continent's Kobe clan one of the top sects in the Divine Continent? Why would they set up a sky-sealing formation to prevent cultivators from ascending?" Sheng Zhongtian was in disbelief. Even Qin Fen couldn't figure out the reason behind it. He initially thought that the higher-ups of the Kamaha clan had all entered the immortal realm, so they set up the sky-sealing formation to prevent other sects and cultivators from ascending to the immortal realm. That was how they controlled the entire Divine Supreme Continent. However, there were many things that did not make sense. If the higher-ups of the Kobe faction had ascended, how did they return to the Divine Continent? Moreover, they couldn't possibly ignore the other disciples of the Kobe faction, right? In this way, even the disciples of the Kobe sect would find it difficult to ascend to immortality. I found this in the cave abode in the Nine Heavens Snow Domain. Take a look and you'll understand. Qin Fen threw out a jade scroll. It was Chu Fan's handwriting. More than a dozen powerful divine senses swept the jade slip, and a moment later, cries of alarm rang out. This was left behind by Chu Fan, the strongest cultivator of Shuiyu City. I didn't expect the Kobe sect, one of the top forces in the Divine Continent, to do such a crazy thing in the dark. It seems that what young hero Qin said is true. Let's quickly find the Immortal Stone Array and destroy it completely. There was one thing that Qin Fin didn't explain. Actually, the purpose of finding the celestial stone formation was to repair it, not to destroy it. Otherwise, the situation of the sky splitting formation wouldn't be resolved. However, as long as the immortal stone formation continued to exist, the cultivators on the Divine Supreme Continent would not be able to ascend to the immortal realm. This was obviously a method that the person who set up the formation had carefully considered. Destroying the spell formation would mean doomsday, but if it wasn't destroyed, he wouldn't be able to ascend to the celestial realm. It was a difficult choice. Young hero Qin, where is the celestial stone formation that you found? Sheng Zhongtian trusted Qin Fin completely. The Dead Sea, around the Quicksand River. Qin Fin answered truthfully. Wang Lu Zhoming was shocked. What? The formation is at the Quicksand River? What should we do now? The rest of the powerful cultivators looked distressed. As true form and disaster transformation cultivators, there were very few things that could baffle them. If the billions of cultivators in Shuiyu City saw this, they would definitely find it hard to understand. Can't we go to the Quicksand River? Qin Fin raised an eyebrow. Sheng Zhongtian sighed and said, "Sigh. It's not that we can't go, but it's a place with a high chance of survival. Perhaps young hero Qin doesn't know about the Dead Sea, but it's a forbidden place for ghost cultivators. It's shrouded in thick qi all year round, and it's completely unsuitable for human cultivators to live in. There's a perilous place in the Dead Sea called the Quicksand River. Legend has it that it's a barren land of sand without any vitality or spirit qi. Even ghost cultivators won't go there easily. Even if some brave cultivators go there to explore, they have never come out alive." Back then, the situation had been urgent, so Qin Fin hadn't listened to Hong Ming's detailed introduction of the Quicksand River. Now that he understood more from Sheng Zhongtian, Qin Fin finally understood why these powerful cultivators were so afraid of the Quicksand River. We have to go to the Quicksand River no matter what. I've already promised the powerful cultivators of Devil City to meet at the entrance of the Quicksand River. Qin Fin's tone was unquestionable. Sheng Zhongtian and the rest knew that there was no way out. When they found out that the powerful cultivators of Devil City were also going to explore the Quicksand River, they felt more at ease. Now that all the powerful cultivators of the two regions had gathered, there were at least 20 true form cultivators. They believed that no matter how terrifying the Quicksand River was, there would still be hope of survival. 7 days later, the two teams met successfully. When Qin Fin led Sheng Zhongtian and the rest to the entrance of the Quicksand River, Hong Ming and the other powerful cultivators of Devil City were already waiting there. "Young hero Qin, the people on my side are all here." Hong Ming immediately went forward to welcome them. Qin Fin looked around and saw the Thunder Emperor, Nie Yuan, and the rest of the Devil City team. These people had conflicts with him, but Qin Fin wasn't in the mood to find trouble with them. However, he didn't see Ouyang Tian in the crowd. Just as Qin Fin was feeling puzzled, Hong Ming said, "Young hero Qin, Ouyang Tian was severely injured by your saber move that day. Then I killed him." Qin Fin felt relieved. Although he had conflicts with the Thunder Emperor and the rest, they weren't mortal enemies. However, before entering the #1 demonic mountain, Qin Fin had killed Ouyang Tian's youngest son, Ouyang Jun, in front of everyone. This had created a blood feud with Ouyang Tian. Now, Qin Fin had left a deep impression in the hearts of the Devil City cultivators. The scene of him using the Thunder Tribulation to blast the true form cultivators while breaking through to the disaster transformation realm was unforgettable. Originally, the Thunder Emperor and the rest had thought that Qin Fin had been taken away and killed by that mysterious person. Now that they saw Qin Fin again, they were all shocked. Thunder King, the sect leader of Shanghai's Thunder Sect, greets Senior Qin. Nie Yuan from the Sky Fiend Sect greets Senior Qin. Demon Venerable Bei Ming of the North Underworld Mountain swears to obey Senior Qin's orders. I only hope that Senior Qin can lead everyone to resolve this destructive calamity. When the mighty figures of Devil City returned to their senses, they took the initiative to greet Qin Fin. This scene stunned Sheng Zhongtian and the rest. Although they had witnessed Qin Fin's powerful strength not long ago, They hadn't expected Qin Fun's status to be so noble. All the top-notch experts in Devil City had shown a humble attitude and even addressed him as senior. If everyone works together this time, we will definitely be able to resolve this crisis. Before they set off, Qin Fun boosted everyone's morale. Originally, the orthodox Dao cultivators of Snowfield City and the fiend cultivators of Devil City didn't interact with each other. In fact, they would fight whenever they met. Now, under Qin Fun's leadership, the top-notch experts of the two regions had temporarily formed an alliance. No one would believe this if they told others. Qin Fun wasn't familiar with the Dead Sea. However, he quickly realized that Hong Ming, Shang Zhongtian, and the rest had never been here before. This was the territory of the ghost cultivators. With their high statuses in their respective territories, if they entered the Dead Sea carelessly, it might even incite a war between the cultivators of the two regions. Just like Devil City, there was a huge rock at the entrance to the Dead Sea. On it, the two majestic words Dead Sea were written. Actually, the rock was the arrayed door to enter the Dead Sea. With Qin Fun's current standards as a level 8 array immortal, he quickly saw through this hidden array. When he leaped towards the huge rock, everyone didn't understand. However, when his body passed through the huge rock and disappeared into the barren desert, everyone immediately understood. So this stone tablet is the array door to the Dead Sea. This is really unexpected. Shang Zhongtian sighed and jumped into the rock as well. The mighty figures of Snowfield City followed suit. After they had all entered the Dead Sea, Hong Ming led the experts of Devil City in as well. After passing through the array door, the scene before their eyes changed drastically. Although they were still in a boundless desert, the sky was gray. It was as if dark clouds had covered the sun, causing everyone's hearts to sink. The yin qi here is very heavy. Everyone, be careful. Shang Zhongtian frowned. After Hong Ming entered, she prepared to scout ahead, but was stopped by Qin Fun. What's wrong, young hero Qin? Senior, don't be anxious. It's difficult to use one's divine consciousness in the Dead Sea. Some dangers are impossible to predict. It's better for me to use the heavenly fire to scout ahead. After Qin Fun spoke, a ball of blue fire appeared in his hand. The flame in a ball of fire was in the shape of a two-petaled sunflower. In the thick dark fog, it looked very alluring. This is the heavenly fire spirit sunflower, which is ranked 20th, and it's a level 2 spirit sunflower flame. Who exactly is young hero Qin? He has reached level 1 disaster transformation at such a young age and can kill true form experts. He also has 2 kinds of heavenly fire, the ice heart flame and the spirit sunflower. This is too shocking. Everyone, be careful. There are ghosts up ahead. When the spirit sunflower heavenly fire appeared, it was as if a bright lamp had lit up the dark world. The Thunder Sovereign suddenly roared furiously and sent a palm strike behind him. The sound of thunder roiled, as if a bolt of lightning had fallen to the ground and smashed onto Nie Yuan, who was behind him. Fortunately, Nie Yuan reacted in time and immediately took out a true artifact defensive cauldron. The large cauldron spun rapidly, blocking the Thunder King's attack. Thunder King, have you gone mad? Nie Yuan said furiously. The Thunder Sovereign was startled awake. With an embarrassed expression, he said, I'm sorry, Sect Master Nie. Earlier, I clearly used my spiritual sense to detect a sneak attack from behind. However, the moment I made a move, the Yin's soul disappeared. Actually, it was not just the Thunder King who felt this way. Everyone else felt the same way. It was as if there were countless eyes hidden in the darkness, watching everyone's every move. Take out the heavenly flame and disperse the black mist. As Qin Fun spoke, he took the lead and sent out several clumps of spirit sunflower flames. When the flames rose from the black mist, the faint blue light gradually spread out. Instantly, everyone felt much better. When everyone came back to their senses, various colored flames rose into the sky, and the black mist started to disperse quickly. The scene of over 10 heavenly flames appearing at the same time was a rare occurrence in 100 years, and it caused many almighty existences to exclaim in surprise. Qin Fun was also stunned for a moment, but he quickly came back to his senses. The heavenly flames in the hands of those almighty existences were all different, but their grades were all inferior to the spirit sunflower heavenly flame that he sent out, let alone the ice heart flame that he had subdued not long ago. That clump of black mist did not completely disperse. There should be some powerful soul hidden in this black mist, and it can even interfere with spiritual sense. If we stay in the black mist for a long time, there will definitely be problems. Anyway, we don't have a map anymore. Let's move forward first and take one step at a time. Everyone had no direction and could only move forward for now. They had to first get rid of the black mist behind them. However, after walking for an unknown period of time, that clump of thick black mist was still following behind them. It was like everyone's shadow. Young hero Qin, we seem to have been targeted. Hong Ming had a bad premonition. Qin Fan had already stopped. He realized that the clump of black mist seemed to be controlled by someone. It was not that everyone was escaping from the black mist pursuit, but that the black mist was forcing everyone to go somewhere. This clump of black mist is strange. Everyone, join forces and see if we can destroy it. Under Qin Fan's command, over 20 almighty existences attacked at the same time. All sorts of heavenly flames floated in the sky. The almighty existences without fire seeds used their quintessential essence to attack. Rumble. When everyone's attacks merged, an intense explosion was instantly produced. The sky seemed to split open, and the ground shook incessantly. That clump of black mist instantly disappeared, and not even a trace of its afterimage could be found. However, everyone did not relax. Instead, their expressions became even more grave. When the black mist dissipated, an illusory figure floated in midair. That figure was wearing a black robe, and it almost merged with the originally gray sky. Who is causing trouble? Either leave quickly or be killed by us. Although that figure in the sky has a powerful aura, it is not a physical body. It should be a soul or a divine will. Everyone's expressions changed drastically when someone mentioned divine will. That was the legendary divine will doppelganger that would only appear after one had stepped into the true God realm. Senior Hong Ming, what is divine will? It was Qin Fan's first time hearing that term. Hong Ming spoke quickly through her divine will. Young hero Qin, when one's martial arts realm reaches the tripod Ekiana, the previous primordial spirit will condense into a nascent soul. The tripod Ekiana, disaster transformation, and true form realms are the nascent soul's natural growth process. When one steps into the true God realm, the nascent soul that has already grown into a human will transform again and become a mature individual with divine will. It is called divine will. Divine will is extremely powerful. It can kill people invisibly and take their lives from 1,000 miles away. Even some true form almighties can die under divine will. Qin Fan felt a chill in his heart after hearing Hong Ming's explanation. He said in disbelief, "If that's the case, doesn't that mean that the enemy in front of us has already stepped into the true God realm?" Everyone fell silent. They had realized the existence of divine will earlier than Qin Fan and had already associated it with divine venerables in the true God realm. However, after a while, Shang Zhongtian said, "This might not be a real divine will, but a pseudo-divine will." Everyone was confused. Wang Lu Zhongming asked, "City Lord, what is a pseudo-divine will?" Shang Zhongtian explained, "A pseudo-divine will is similar to a divine will, but it is not a divine will." Everyone knows that the Dead Sea's ghost cultivators have many tricks up their sleeves. It is common for them to kill people of a higher realm. It is not surprising that they have a pseudo-divine will. City Lord Shang is right. Don't scare yourselves. I fought with the Ghost King of the Dead Sea more than 10 years ago. He had just stepped into the true form realm then. How could he have broken through to the true God realm in such a short time? Demon Venerable North Dark said. Everyone regained their confidence. After they calmed down, they realized that they had made a fuss. If a true God realm divine venerables had really appeared in the Dead Sea, they would have gone to Snowfield City in Mo due to start a massacre based on their ferocious nature. They would not have remained silent for so long. Oomph. You bunch of ants barged into the Dead Sea Forbidden Zone without permission. Are you planning to start a war? A voice came from the black shadow in the void. Demon Venerable North Dark shouted, "It is indeed the Ghost King." I remember his voice. They had just entered the Dead Sea not long ago. They had not expected to attract the Ghost King. He was a famous ghost cultivator leader in the entire West Sea continent. It was enough to raise everyone's vigilance. Sheng Zhongtian cupped his fist in the air and said, "Ghost King, this time, we had no choice but to barge into the forbidden area of the Dead Sea. Right now, cracks have appeared in the sky above Snow Domain City and Demonic City, and there's only one way to fill up those dislocated spaces, and that is to repair the Great Sky Ceiling Formation." Oomph. What does that have to do with the Dead Sea's ghost cultivators? If you don't leave now, don't blame me for being rude. The Ghost King's tone was cold. There was no room for negotiation. Good and evil could not coexist. If it had been any other time, Shang Zhongtian would have led his people to fight the Ghost King. However, they had to swallow their anger now that they were in trouble. That's because the sky ceiling array is near the Dead Sea's quicksand river, Shang Zhongtian said. The black shadow in the air was silent for a moment. Suddenly, he laughed maniacally. You should have discussed your lies beforehand. You have the nerve to tell such a lie that can fool a 3-year-old child? I'm the supreme being of the Dead Sea. I have lived in the Dead Sea for close to 1,000 years. Why haven't I heard of any sky ceiling array in the Dead Sea? Sheng Zhongtian suppressed his anger and said, "This matter is complicated. The sky ceiling array was not originally in the Dead Sea. However, due to various reasons, it has landed near the Quicksand River. In any case, don't interfere with this matter. Once we find and repair the array, we will leave on our own." As soon as Shang Zhongtian finished speaking, a strong gust of wind swept through the sky. The black fog instantly condensed and formed a huge vortex that connected heaven and earth. The Ghost King's angry roar came from the black fog vortex. A bunch of ants dare to cause trouble in the Dead Sea? Do you really think that we, the ghost cultivators, are easy to bully? If you don't leave now, you will die here. Everyone felt helpless. In fact, even they did not dare to believe that the array had shifted. If Qin Feng had not taken out the jade scroll that Xu Fan had left behind and displayed his extraordinary abilities, no one in Snowfield City would have followed him to explore the Dead Sea. Chapter 2120. The black fog surged like a wave and engulfed the crowd instantly. Even a group of peak true form and disaster transformation realm experts lost their way when they entered the black fog. Immediately, there were ghostly wails and wolf howls. There were countless ghosts in the black mist. The howls made people's scalps tingle. Even these truth, realization, state, powerful beings' minds were disturbed. Everyone, be careful. This is a divine consciousness attack. Qin Fen immediately sent a quintessential essence message. This was not the first time he had fought with ghost cultivators, so he knew some of their techniques. Everyone immediately sealed their divine consciousness to stop the chaotic sounds from entering their minds. Some people had already launched a counterattack. Although the quintessential essence attack was fierce, it had no effect on the ghosts in the black fog. Although Qin Fen reminded everyone, he did not seal his sea of consciousness. Moreover, he did not use his true essence to attack. He did not even use his heaven fire. Instead, he circulated the soul returning technique and used his powerful divine sense cultivation method to cut the millions of Een souls in the black fog. This move was immediately effective. The ghosts, which even the quintessential essence of a true form expert could not kill, were vulnerable to the soul returning technique. The moment Qin Fen used his divine consciousness, the divine consciousness blade could cut a large number of ghosts. However, the moment he saw the effect, he immediately stopped using the soul-returning technique. This was because there were countless spirits in the black fog. If he were to rely on his divine sense alone, he would not be able to kill them all even after a year and a half. In a place like the Dead Sea, the soul-returning technique was his only trump card. It was best not to use it unless it was absolutely necessary. Even though he had stopped using the soul-returning technique, the Ghost King still sensed that the black fog vortex that connected the sky and the earth had clearly paused for a moment, as if it was frozen in the sky. There was no movement at all. Oomph. It's just a struggle before death. The moment you stepped into the Dead Sea, your lives were already counting down. The Ghost King's words baffled everyone, but only Qianfen could understand what he was saying. Qianfen was nervous. After a moment, he heaved a sigh of relief because the Ghost King did not attack him alone. This meant that although the Ghost King had sensed the divine consciousness attack, he did not know who had done it. Young hero Qin, what should we do now? The ghosts in the black fog are too strong. We must leave immediately. Everyone, stay close. Don't get separated. The crowd was in chaos. In the vast black fog, even the true form and disaster transformation realm experts could feel the faint aura of death. I'll take the lead. Everyone follow behind me. Qianfen made a decision and clapped his hands. Spirit sunflower flames shot out, opening a path in front of him. He stepped on his sword and rushed forward, trying to break out of the black fog. More than 20 mighty beings followed suit, and at the same time, they also took out their own heavenly flames, forming a magnificent scene in the black fog. The dozen or so heavenly flames of different colors were like twinkling stars in the night sky. The black fog was boundless, and everyone flew at full speed, but they were still. The black fog was of heaven. We were bewitched by the formation. Qianfen, who was leading the way, suddenly stopped. He believed that no matter how powerful the Ghost King was, the black fog it formed could not be so majestic. Of sect of formation, of sect, Dao Saint sect, and in the distance of the realm. Of Nieyuan, the sect leader of Dao Saint sect, said, that aura seems to be shrouding us all the time. Qianfen had sensed the aura a long time ago, but he hadn't cared at first. He thought it was a formation to strengthen the black fog's attack. After flying for several hours without being able to get out of the black fog, Qianfen was sure it was a field formation. Speaking of field formations, the lowest was a level 6 Grandmaster formation. This kind of formation was usually created along with the field. It was a formation set up by the person who set up the formation in his field. When Qianfen had obtained the 7-color Ghost Face Soul banner, it was a bit like a field formation. We've been in the Ghost King's field, Qianfen said honestly. Everyone was shocked. Young hero Qin, are you sure we're in the Ghost King's field? No wonder my quintessential essence was suppressed so much. I thought it was because of the ghosts. It turns out we've entered the Ghost King's field. That old ghost is consuming everyone's quintessential essence. When our quintessential essence is used up, he can easily kill us at any time. The group of experts became nervous. In someone else's field, everything was up to the opponent. Everyone, use your own fields and leave with me. Qianfen had already expanded his field. When his field surrounded everyone, many experts revealed shocked expressions. They hadn't expected Qianfen to have comprehended the field to initial success. Actually, it wasn't rare for disaster transformation state cultivators to comprehend the field to initial success, but everyone knew that Qianfen was only at body condensation state mid-stage a few months ago. Comprehending the field wasn't something that could be completed in a day. It seemed that Qianfen had at least touched the edge of the field a few months ago. Body condensation state mid-stage cultivators had just started to comprehend the realm, but he had already touched the edge of the field. This was a bit terrifying. However, after a brief moment of astonishment, everyone unleashed their respective fields. Qianfen even felt a few more powerful magnetic fluctuations in the air. It was obvious that they were no longer within the scope of a field. Someone must have comprehended the existence of a domain. More than 20 arenas overlapped, and a few domains shrouded the area. The entire sky surged, and the air formed ripples like waves on water. The black mist was dispersed by the rippling airflow and gradually drifted into the distant sky. Everyone's vision became clear, but they heard the Thunder King scream, "Not good. We've fallen into a trap." That old ghost didn't want to use the black fog to kill people, but to confuse us into a place of despair. When everyone saw the scene in front of them, they immediately understood what the Thunder King meant. They didn't know where they were now. The surroundings were still covered in the black fog. The black fog in the sky was tens of times thicker than at the entrance of the Dead Sea. It was like a layer of black rain floating in the sky. Under their feet was a boundless black sand. They couldn't feel a trace of spirit chi or vitality. It made them feel despair. What is this place? We're completely lost. Even if the Ghost King doesn't do anything, we probably won't be able to leave the Dead Sea for the rest of our lives. Just as everyone was panicking, a strange laugh came from the sky. GGG. Welcome everyone to Quicksand River. Didn't you come here to find the formation? This king sent you here out of kindness. Don't thank me. Enjoy the scenery of Quicksand River. The voice came from a distant place. It was just a divine sense transmission of the Ghost King. Everyone was pleasantly surprised. They were just looking for Quicksand River. They didn't expect the Ghost King to send them here. Is that old ghost so kind? I think it's better for everyone to be careful. After the surprise, Hongming raised her guard. Qin Feng's eyes darted around. He said, maybe this really is Quicksand River. Young hero Qin, what do you mean? Sheng Zhongtian asked. The Ghost King doesn't know we're here to find Quicksand River. He doesn't even believe we're here for Quicksand River. He thinks our words are an excuse. He thinks that the powerful cultivators of Demonic City and Snowfield City are working together to eradicate the Dead Sea's ghost cultivators. He never thought that we're really here for Quicksand River. Qin Fun's explanation enlightened everyone. If they were in his shoes, the Ghost King would really have sent them to Quicksand River. This was because this was the most dangerous place in the Dead Sea. Who knew how many almighty cultivators had fallen here? Young hero Qin, since we're here, hurry up and find the formation, Xiao Wanshi said anxiously. He didn't want to stay a moment longer in the Dead Sea. He Qianjin frowned. If this is really Quicksand River's territory, I didn't sense any formation ripples on the way here. Is there really a sky-ceiling formation here? Chapter 21-21. Qinfen quickly changed the topic. Everyone, finding the Immortal Stone Array is the most important thing right now. We could talk about other things later. Everyone came back to their senses. Hongming said, young hero Qin. Nie Yuan said that he did not sense the aura of the array. Did you discover anything? Everyone placed their hopes on Qin Fun. He was clearly the youngest in the group and had the lowest cultivation level, but he shocked everyone again and again. But this time, Qin Fun did not sense anything. He shook his head and said, there is indeed no aura of the array nearby. Perhaps the Immortal Stone Array is not here. Why don't we split up and look around? If we split up, we might be defeated by the ghost cultivators one by one, the Thunder King said worriedly. It seems like the Ghost King does not intend to attack at the moment. So, we need to hurry and find the array to repair it, Qin Fen said. I agree with young hero Qin's suggestion. Regardless of whether the Ghost King intends to attack us, we don't have much time. Right now, there are countless cracks in the sky above Demonic City and Snowfield City. Billions of cultivators are in dire straits. We have no way out. We can only kill our way out with blood. Hongming's words boosted everyone's morale. These almighties usually schemed against each other, but in the face of a devastating disaster, they were the leaders that almighties should be. Then let's split into 3 groups. Each group will be led by an array expert, Shang Zhongtian suggested. The 20-odd almighties quickly split into 3 groups, led by Qin Fun, He Qianjin, and Nie Yuan. The 3 groups headed in different directions. They agreed that once any group found the Immortal Stone Array, they would immediately send a flying sword message to the other groups. Although the Ghost King had already brought everyone to Quicksand River, it was vast and boundless. It was half the size of Snowfield City. Moreover, the surrounding environment was terrible. It was shrouded in gray and black fog. It was difficult to even distinguish north, south, east, and west. Young hero Qin, it's not a good idea to keep searching like this. I'm afraid we won't find any results even after a year. Hongming put away her flying sword and landed on the black sand. Apart from Hongming, Shang Zhongtian, Xiao Wanshi, the Thunder Sovereign, and the others were also following Qin Fun. Actually, Wang Lu Zhongming, Dark North Demon Exalt, and the other Almighties also wanted to follow Qin Fun's team. They had an inexplicable feeling that they would only be able to survive if they followed Qin Fun. However, in order to balance out the three teams, they were split up into the other two teams. Qin Fun furrowed his brows as he stood in the vast black sand. He tried his best to extend his divine sense, but the black mist in the quicksand river was like a solid wall that completely blocked his divine sense. The visibility in the black fog was less than 5 meters, and it was impossible to use divine sense to observe the terrain. Under such conditions, trying to find the immortal stone array was like looking for a needle in a haystack. Master, you can let the hunting turtles try to find it. Little Pig's voice suddenly sounded. Qin Feng's eyes lit up. The hunting turtles were fast and small, so it was easy to find things in a place like Quicksand River. Moreover, the hunting turtles were level 9 star beasts and were extremely sensitive to all kinds of auras. As long as it could smell the aura of the immortal stone array, it would definitely be able to find the immortal stone array accurately. However, Qin Feng didn't have the immortal stone array, but he still had a few phoenix flowers with him. As long as the immortal stone array appeared, the phoenix flowers and the spirit marrow pool would definitely appear. A black shadow the size of a fingernail flashed by and quickly blended into the vast black fog. It didn't attract the attention of the Almighties at all. The hunting turtles had already flown far away, and Qin Feng immediately followed on his sword. He was afraid that if he was a step slower, he wouldn't be able to keep up with the hunting turtle's speed. Young hero Qin, where are you going? Everyone was confused. They were discussing a strategy to find the immortal stone array. Why did Qin Feng run away by himself? Everyone, quickly follow me. I can find the immortal stone array quickly. Qin Feng didn't have time to explain. While his voice was still echoing in the air, his figure had already flown thousands of meters away. The group of Almighties immediately followed. Even though they had a strong and vigorous quintessential essence aura, they had no idea where to find the array at all. The hunting turtles quickly adapted to the environment of Quicksand River, and their speed increased. Hong Ming and the other Almighties felt that they were almost unable to keep up with Qin Feng. Furthermore, they couldn't see anything at all as they flew at such a high speed. It felt like they were speeding through a space-time tunnel. Young hero Qin, are you sure you haven't found the wrong place? The Thunder King asked. He found it hard to imagine how Qin Feng was able to determine the direction of the terrain while flying at such a high speed. Actually, Qin Feng was the same as everyone else. He couldn't see anything clearly at all. However, he didn't need to see. He just had to keep up with the hunting turtles. After flying for half a day, the hunting turtles suddenly slowed down. When Qin Feng put away his flying sword and landed on an empty patch of black sand, his eyes flickered with a strange light. Wow, what a beautiful scene. Is this still Quicksand River? Rumor has it that Quicksand River is a desolate place in the Dead Sea. There's no vitality or spiritual chi here, but there's a spirit vein here. This doesn't make sense at all. All the Almighties who landed revealed astonished expressions. Ever since everyone entered the Dead Sea, all they saw was a desolate scene of black sand. There wasn't even a single weed or small tree to be seen. However, a river appeared several hundred meters ahead of them. The river water was black, and it seemed to have merged with the vast sand. However, the river water flowed slowly and reflected a faint light. It was like a Milky Way under the black night sky. Perhaps this is the real Quicksand River, Qin Feng suddenly said. Young hero Qin, what do you mean? Hong Ming's expression changed. Since it's called Quicksand River, it naturally has something to do with a river. The spirit vein in front of us is like a flowing river of sand. Perhaps this is how the Dead Sea's Quicksand River got its name. Qin Feng's explanation made sense. Many Almighties revealed enlightened expressions. The Thunder King immediately asked, Young hero Qin, why did you suddenly stop? Could the formation be nearby? Qin Feng had stopped because the hunting pincer had stopped. Or rather, the hunting pincer had not landed on the sand. Instead, it had plunged into the Black River. The river could block divine senses and even cut off the connection between Qin Feng and a hunting pincer. When the hunting pincer entered the quicksand river, Qin Feng didn't know where it had gone. It's very likely that the formation is at the bottom of this quicksand river, Qin Feng said. If that's really the case, then let's quickly enter the bottom of the river. Hong Ming's expression became excited. It was as if she saw the hope of resolving this disaster. Qin Feng waved his hand and stopped her. Since Quicksand River is called the Dead Sea's perilous place, there's naturally a reason for it. This Quicksand River is very strange. It's not a real spiritual spring, but it has formed a spirit vein. Everyone, don't be rash. It's best to understand the situation first. First, set a small goal. For example, remember in 1 second, Booksellers Mobile. Chapter 21-22. Everyone immediately woke up from their joy and felt a lingering fear. If Qin Fen hadn't stopped her in time, not only would Hong Ming have charged into the Black Sand River, but the Thunder King and the rest would have followed. Let me try the power of this quicksand river. Sheng Zhongtian suddenly leaped up and floated above the quicksand river. He didn't attack. Instead, he threw a few level 4 spirit herbs into the river. When the spirit plant full of snake-red fruits fell into the sand river, the lush fruits immediately withered. When the other spirit plants touched the river water, their green roots and leaves turned as dark as the river water, and they even emitted black smoke. Everyone's expressions changed drastically. There was indeed something wrong with the quicksand river. How was this a spirit vein? It's a river of death. Young hero Qin, are you sure the array formation is at the bottom of the quicksand river? How do we go down? Let me throw a few spirit crystals in and see. Hong Ming leaped up and waved her hand. More than 10 spirit crystals fell into the quicksand river. Spirit crystals were stones even more precious than supreme-grade spirit stones. They contained a rich spirit source. However, when the spirit crystals touched the river water, the luster on their surface dimmed, and they turned into a pile of useless rocks. They also emitted thick black smoke. I understand now. This quicksand river is a death zone that devours spirit chi. As long as anything containing spirit chi comes into contact with the river water, it will be devoured completely. The Thunder King revealed a horrified expression. The others also realized this. Therefore, the group of disaster transformation and true form mighty figures lowered their heads like a row of frosted eggplants. The array formation should be at the bottom of the river. Everyone stay here. I'll go test out this quicksand river. Qin Fen knew that he had to rely on himself. Even though Hong Ming and the rest had high realms, they were helpless in the face of such an unclear enemy. By the time he finished speaking, he had already rushed above the quicksand river. The flying sword under his feet was almost sticking to the river water. A small wave could drown his calves. Everyone was on tenterhooks and admired Qin Fen's courage. When they realized that the quicksand river could devour Spirit's source, these mighty figures gave up on approaching it. However, Qin Fen dared to fly above the river. Young hero Qin, be careful, Hong Ming hurriedly reminded him. Qin Feng naturally wouldn't let his guard down. The reason why he was so close to the river was because he wanted to find the secret of Quicksand River. Otherwise, he would never be able to cross the river and go underground. When his feet were almost touching the river, Qin Feng could feel a cold and gloomy aura coming from under his feet. It was an aura filled with death and despair, as if everything here would eventually turn into a pile of waste. This aura was very familiar to Qin Fen. After thinking for a while, he remembered that he had encountered this aura when he was exploring the South Flat Continent's 13 palaces. To be more precise, Qin Fen and Yu Wanqiu had encountered a level 9 soul nurturing formation on the 8th floor of the 13 palaces. The aura of the tens of thousands of spirits that had been nurtured in that formation was the aura of the quicksand river beneath their feet. After finding the clue, Qin Fen was extremely shocked. If the quicksand river under his feet was also a level 9 soul nurturing array, then the Black River was not river water at all, but an aura formed by countless Yin spirits. When Qin Fen looked up, he couldn't see the end of the quicksand river. Young hero Qin, Do you see what's going on? Hong Ming shouted. Qin Feng didn't dare to say his guess, as it scared even himself. If he told Hong Ming and the others, they might even be scared away. An entire river of Yin spirits. This was a spectacular scene that could only be formed after being nurtured for many years. If Qin Feng hadn't seen it with his own eyes, he wouldn't have believed it. If it's really Yin spirits, then there's hope. However, after Qin Feng calmed down, a glint flashed in his eyes. He suddenly leaped and fell into the quicksand river. This action caused the Thunder King and the others to exclaim in shock. The Almighties couldn't understand his actions at all. Young hero Qin, what are you doing? Come back quickly. Hong Ming was so anxious that she jumped. However, by the time she finished speaking, Qin Feng was already nowhere to be seen. Oh no! Young hero Qin's mind might have been affected by the evil spirits in the quicksand river. Now that he has fallen into the river and died, what should we do? Is young hero Qin really dead? Why can't I believe it? The group of true form transformation Almighties panicked. They were helpless against the quicksand river, which was filled with the aura of death. Hong Ming even wanted to jump into the quicksand river to look for Qin Feng out of impulse. However, she was stopped by the Thunder Monarch. Although the Thunder Monarch had a deep conflict with him, danger was lurking everywhere. One less true form Almighty meant one less chance of survival. Hong Ming, don't be foolish. Anyone who enters the quicksand river will die. Young hero Qin is no longer here, the Thunder King shouted. Sheng Zhongtian sighed. Now that young hero Qin is dead, the heavy responsibility will fall on everyone's shoulders. Don't seek death easily. Otherwise, Snowfield City and Mo.Do will be completely destroyed. As soon as Qin Feng jumped into the quicksand river, he immediately felt countless Yin spirits trying to enter his body. He heard ghostly wails and wolf howls. Those sounds made his hair stand on end. Otherwise, if the almighty being who laid out the array was still here, he, Hong Ming, and the others would definitely die. Regardless of the truth, Qin Feng had no way out. He decided not to think too much and started absorbing the Yin spirit energy in the quicksand river. After mastering the soul homing technique, Qin Feng could increase the level of the soul homing technique by absorbing Yin spirits. Previously, after he absorbed thousands of soul crystals in the 8th palace, the soul homing technique had increased twice. The direct effect of the increase was the strengthening of his spiritual consciousness. At this moment, some changes happened in the quicksand river. Several streams of black fog floated out and charged rapidly in the direction of Hong Ming and the others. What's crawling into my spiritual consciousness? Hurry up and come out. A demonic city disaster transformation cultivator suddenly shouted. Just as everyone was feeling puzzled, their expressions changed. They didn't even have time to ask that demonic cultivator what was going on. This was because the same thing happened to the others. Oh no! The evil spirits in the quicksand river have initiated an attack, the Thunder King exclaimed. Sheng Zhongtian immediately burned a mouthful of essence blood, and his spiritual consciousness instantly strengthened. He felt that the surging aura in his mind had disappeared, so he shouted to the crowd, "It should be the thoughts of the Yin spirits. Everyone, it's best to seal your spiritual consciousness. Don't let these ghosts affect your mind." Hong Ming had already taken out his earth fire. A ball of black fire enveloped his body and fused with the black fog. Several miserable cries spread out in the sand, causing everyone's hair to stand on end. Hurry up and use the heavenly flame to burn and force these ghosts to retreat. Hong Ming found a way to counterattack. Several balls of fire rose up, and the miserable cries in the air became even more intense. However, there were some auras that the heavenly flame couldn't burn out. Or rather, they couldn't be instantly burned out. They were still struggling to enter everyone's spiritual consciousness. These Yin spirits are stronger than we imagined. The quicksand river is indeed a place of certain death. Everyone, hurry up and leave this place. If we continue to stay here, we'll only die. Xia Wanshi's voice was trembling as fear rose in his heart. Hong Ming immediately scolded. How can we retreat now? Putting aside the fact that young Hirochin's fate is unknown, the black hole in the sky outside has yet to disappear. So what if we escape from the quicksand river? If we don't leave the West Sea continent, we'll die sooner or later. Escape from the West Sea continent? This was unrealistic for everyone present. They were all famous and powerful seniors in the West Sea continent. All of their power bases were in the West Sea continent. If they escaped from this land just to survive, even if they went somewhere else, they would be looked down upon and turned into a laughingstock. Moreover, the sky above Snowfield City and the demonic city was filled with cracks. How could it be that easy to escape from the West Sea continent? Unless you ran all the way out on the ground, you would be sucked away by the black hole if you stepped on a flying sword or a flying Dharma artifact. First, set a small goal. For example, remember in 1 second, Booksellers Mobile. Chapter 21-23. Moments later, Hong Ming and the others found that they didn't even have a chance to escape. Black chi kept surging out of the quicksand river. The black chi all turned into human shapes. Some had half a body, some had the entire outline of a human body. However, whether it was half a body or a full human silhouette, the black fog had no facial features. It was a gaseous state formed by the condensation of yin energy. In other words, it was no longer an aura, but a monster that had formed its own consciousness. These are soul cultivators, Shang Zhongtian exclaimed. The others' expressions changed drastically. Of course, they had heard of soul cultivators. It was an extremely ancient cultivation method. Usually, dead cultivators used a sliver of spirit sense or remnant to cultivate. They needed a powerful soul cultivation method to support it. Those who cultivated it to great success could even be reborn. Their power was many times greater than before they died. Most importantly, their spirit sense would be unimaginably strengthened. Arg, I'm trapped by soul cultivators. Everyone come and save me. A disaster transformation state peak stage cultivator suddenly cried out. Hong Ming immediately slapped out a few balls of black lotus earth fire. There was a sizzling sound in the air, but those half-human soul cultivators didn't die immediately. They even continued to attack in the fire. What were they doing? Thunder King showed a terrified expression. Xia Wanshi said shakily. It's said that initial success soul cultivators can devour the spirit sense of high-level cultivators to strengthen themselves. Those green-eyed soul cultivators are devouring spirit sense. Devouring spirit sense? Everyone was shocked. Even powerful figures like Hong Ming, who had reached the true form realm, could at most use spirit sense attacks. They could kill low-level cultivators with a thought, but they could not devour other people's spirit senses. Seeing the disaster transformation state sect leader's face contorted in pain, Shang Zhongtian couldn't just sit by and watch. He leaped over. The cultivation essence giant hand fell to the ground. The surging cultivation essence blew the half-human soul cultivators away. However, their chi quickly condensed and returned to normal. They weren't affected at all. Those soul cultivators didn't have faces, but everyone could clearly feel a wave of anger in the air. Tins of black chi flew towards Shang Zhongtian and engulfed him in darkness. Rumble. At the same time, a loud sound came from Hong Ming's back as a true essence hand descended. The violent true essence sent him flying, and he coughed up a few mouthfuls of blood in midair. The mighty ones were stunned and looked at Xia Wanshi in disbelief. Sect leader Xia, what are you doing? Asked the vice chairman of West Sea Trading Company. Hong Ming had been sent flying by Xia Wanshi's palm. How could the other party reply to his question? He directly sent out a ferocious palm strike. The West Sea Trading firm's vice president's expression changed drastically, and he immediately flew away on his sword, narrowly avoiding being struck as well. Sect leader Xia has gone mad. It looks like he's being controlled by a soul cultivator. What do we do now? The remaining almighty beings were no longer able to remain calm. They were having a hard time dealing with the tens of thousands of soul cultivators before them. And now, there was an anomaly among them. Furthermore, Xie Wanshi had lost his mind, and they had no way to deal with him. They couldn't just join forces to kill him, could they? No wonder the rumors say that Quicksand River is a place of certain death. Now that I've seen it, I finally understand how powerful it is. These soul cultivators are a bunch of incomparably powerful consciousnesses. How can we kill them all? Young hero Qin is dead. Sect leader Xie has gone mad again. The Red Tea Devil King is heavily injured, and City Lord Sheng can't even protect himself. I think everyone should hurry up and escape. The West Sea continent is beyond saving, shouted the vice chairman of West Sea Trading Firm. Right now, it wasn't a matter of being afraid of death, but that there was no hope at all. If staying here meant death, then it was better to escape the West Sea continent and start anew somewhere else. Seeing that everyone had made up their minds, Sheng Zhongtian's anxious voice came out of the black mist. Everyone, come to me. Help me temporarily force back the soul cultivators. I can protect everyone. The few of them hesitated for a moment, but in the end, they flew over to Sheng Zhongtian's side. Several clumps of unique flames lit up the black mist, temporarily forcing back the soul cultivators. Sheng Zhongtian took a deep breath. Just now, he had been trapped by over 100 powerful consciousnesses of soul cultivators. Even breathing had become difficult for him. After adjusting his breathing, Sheng Zhongtian immediately took out an awl-shaped magic treasure. When the golden awl, which was originally only the size of a palm, was tossed out, it instantly grew in size, enveloping everyone under its golden radiance. That's the myriad cloud awl? The vice chairman of West Sea Trading Firm exclaimed. It said that Snowfield City's city lord has a defensive magic treasure at the level of a quasi-immortal artifact. It can even block a fatal attack from a true divinity cultivator. Could it be this golden awl? The Thunder King was shocked. Above everyone's heads, the golden awl had already begun to slowly descend. In the end, it looked like a pyramid covering everyone. The golden awl wasn't an impenetrable wall like everyone had imagined. Instead, it was a barrier of energy that resembled the aura of an array formation. The air around it fluctuated like waves on the surface of a lake. Sheng Zhongtian hurriedly said, "The myriad cloud all seems to be blocked by something. It can't enter the bottom of Quicksand River. Why can't it enter?" Everyone saw young hero Qin jump into the Black River with their own eyes. The West Sea Trade Association's vice president was confused. Only now did Sheng Zhongtian realize Qin's true strength. He was sure that there was something blocking above Quicksand River. Qin must have found a way to enter. Now, even with the protection of the Golden Awl, he couldn't even enter the bottom of Quicksand River. Sheng Zhongtian felt hopeless again. He planned to activate the myriad cloud awl and leave. However, when he was about to leave, he realized that he had completely lost contact with the golden awl. The golden chi cover undulated like a surging tsunami. It seemed like it would break at any time. At that moment, a scream came from nearby. Then, there was another intense explosion. Everyone immediately looked over. Their expressions kept changing. The loud explosion had come from Xie Wanshi's body. His body had already exploded. A golden human-shaped, nascent soul flew out, but was instantly engulfed by a few black mists. Half an hour later, Xie Wanshi's nascent soul aura disappeared. A true-form mighty cultivator had completely perished. Everyone gasped. These ghosts were unimaginably powerful, since they could even engulf a true-form mighty cultivator's nascent soul. "City Lord Sheng, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and leave," the Thunder King said anxiously. Sheng Zhongtian sounded helpless. "We can't leave now even if we want to." "Why?" "The myriad cloud all has already lost control. Unless everyone flies out by themselves," Sheng Zhongtian said truthfully. Everyone's expression changed drastically. Their only hope of survival had been extinguished. There were countless ghosts in Quicksand River. It was impossible for them to fly out by themselves. Xie Wanshi, who had died not long ago, was the best example. "City Lord Sheng, how long can your myriad cloud all last?" Hong Ming asked. "At most 5 minutes." Actually, even without Shang Zhongtian saying this, everyone realized that the golden all was about to explode. The golden aura barrier was fluctuating violently, like boiling water. Since we're going to die anyway, why don't we charge out of the golden all and attack Quicksand River together? Let's see if we can enter the underground, Hong Ming suggested. Shang Zhongtian had already flown out first and slapped his palm on the surface of Quicksand River. He was a second-stage, true, form mighty cultivator, but he had been suppressed in the Quicksand River Forbidden Zone. He had been suppressing his anger for a long time. Now that he no longer cared about life and death, Shang Zhongtian had to fight back. Rumble. The quintessential essence giant hand covered half of the sky above Quicksand River. As it fell, there was a rumble, and the calm black river surface rippled. Shang Zhongtian immediately felt the obstruction in front of him lessen. He hurriedly shouted, "There might be an array formation on Quicksand River. Everyone, break the array formation and charge in. First, set a small goal. For example, remember in 1 second, Booksellers Mobile." Chapter 21-24. As soon as he finished speaking, Hong Ming's attack landed. Hong Ming's attack had already landed. Numerous balls of black lotus hellfire smashed into the surface of the river, stirring up waves. After everyone came back to their senses, they also started attacking ferociously. However, the attacks of a group of true form supremacies were supposed to be earth-shattering, but they only created a small disturbance on the Quicksand River. After a wave of attacks, some changes happened in the Quicksand River. A cyclone appeared in the middle of the river. The cyclone was originally only the size of a palm, but it rapidly expanded at a speed visible to the naked eye. It was like a tsunami whirlpool that eventually affected the entire Black River surface. "What is this?" The Thunder King stopped attacking and revealed a fearful expression. "Such a powerful in-soul aura. Is some monster about to fly out?" I suddenly thought of a question. Why are there so many in-souls in the Quicksand River? Are they raised by the Ghost King? Shang Zhongtian asked. This question shocked everyone. If the Quicksand River was really a place for the Ghost King to nurture souls, then the Ghost King's power was already so terrifying that it was hard to predict. However, now was not the time to think about these questions. In less than 5 minutes, the entire Quicksand River seemed to be boiling. The huge black whirlpool was bottomless, like a huge black hole in the sky. An ear-piercing scream was heard, and dozens of black figures flew out of the whirlpool. This group of black figures had completely taken human form. Their eerie green eyes were breathtaking, and some even grew hair and facial features. Their expressions were extremely hideous. Shang Zhongtian and the rest were dumbfounded. While they were dazed, the black figures that flew out of the Quicksand River pounced over like hungry wolves and engulfed the Thunder King instantly. The Thunder King's figure could not be seen clearly in the black mist, but a tragic scream could be heard. Hong Ming immediately sent out a few balls of black lotus earth fire. However, when the flames burned intensely in the black mist, they could not affect the black figures that had taken human form at all. 10 seconds later, Shang Zhongtian exclaimed, "The Thunder King is already dead? His aura is gone." Shang Zhongtian was not the only one who realized this. Hong Ming and the rest also realized this terrifying thing. Although Xie Wansher's nascent soul had also been devoured by the ghosts on the periphery not long ago, he had still managed to struggle for some time. However, the Thunder King had been devoured almost instantly, not even having the chance to cry for help. Just like that, the top venerables who could summon wind and rain in Mo perished. They felt that true form realm mighty beings were as insignificant as ants in the Quicksand River forbidden ground. The rest of them didn't want to stay a moment longer. They flew out of Shang Zhongtian's golden all-chi barrier and fled into the distance. Unfortunately, it was too late. As soon as they left the myriad cloud auger, they found themselves surrounded by black smoke. The black smoke was far stronger than the soul cultivators on the outside, and it invaded their divine sense, causing them to shriek and scream in agony. These soul cultivators are on the verge of success, and can use the fleshly bodies of powerful experts to be reborn. Everyone, seal your seas of divine sense. Don't let them control your minds. Sheng Zhongtian roared anxiously. He already knew how Xie Wanshi had died. His mind had been controlled by the soul cultivator, and then he self-detonated. Everyone immediately sealed their divine senses. However, this group of human-shaped soul cultivators' divine senses were extremely powerful. They were practically all-pervasive, and they were still slowly seeping into their divine sense seas. Hong Ming's divine sense was already rather weak because he had been severely injured by Xie Wanshi. He was the first to be affected. His body froze in midair, and he screamed in pain. Not good. Redming Demon King has also been affected, the West Sea Merchant Group's vice president said anxiously. The few remaining mighty beings were powerless. Everyone was trapped by the powerful soul cultivators, and their divine sense seas were being attacked bit by bit. They couldn't help Hong Ming at all. Just as the situation was critical and irreversible, a black figure flew out of the quicksand river, accompanied by an angry roar. You ghosts dare to cause trouble here? Die! Sheng Zhongtian and the rest were shocked when they heard the voice. They even forgot to fight with the ghost. That voice was extremely familiar. Wasn't it Qin Fan, whom everyone thought had died long ago? However, no one was able to see the face of the shadowy figure, as it was surrounded by countless human-shaped phantoms. The divine sense of the soul cultivators was so powerful that it was like a tempest of divine sense, causing the magnetic field in the area to tremble. Is it really young hero Qin? Hong Ming's eyes were filled with surprise. He didn't realize that the soul cultivator had disappeared. The others also felt relaxed. They tried their best to look at the black fog above the quicksand river, wanting to see through everything. That voice is undoubtedly young hero Qin. However, he was trapped by those soul cultivators. How can he survive? The West Sea Merchant Group's vice president was worried. Sheng Zhongtian had already flown over. His body shone with golden light, but the myriad cloud, All's barrier was already extremely transparent, as if it would explode at any moment. There was a huge explosion. Before Sheng Zhongtian could even get close to Qin Fan, the myriad cloud all suddenly exploded, turning into solid metal that fell into the quicksand river. Instantly, several black figures surrounded him. Sheng Zhongtian immediately activated his divine sense, forming a powerful magnetic field around him. City Lord Sheng really comprehended a domain. The few powerful beings in the distance were shocked. When everyone had just entered the Dead Sea to escape the Ghost King's pursuit, they had used their own domains. However, there were two even more powerful magnetic fields in each domain. At that time, everyone had guessed that someone had comprehended a domain. Now, they knew that one of them was Sheng Zhongtian. After the domain was used, the sky suddenly tumbled, and instantly, countless cracks appeared. The soul cultivators who charged into the domain became distorted. This was a sign that they were dying under the intense pressure of the dislocation space. The air was filled with screams. The soul cultivators' shrill voices made everyone panic. Since City Lord Sheng comprehended a domain, why didn't he use it before? After the domain is formed, the dislocation space will be at his fingertips. Even those soul cultivators won't be able to escape, someone asked. After a moment, Hong Ming frowned and said, City Lord Sheng's domain is not stable. Although he has comprehended a domain, the strength of his divine sense can't keep up. City Lord Sheng is indeed the #1 genius cultivator in Snowfield City. He comprehended a domain at the second stage, true form realm. However, if he wants to control a domain, he has to be at least at the late stage true form realm, or even at the peak. Most cultivators had already reached this level, but their perception was not enough. It was difficult for them to comprehend the existence of the realm, field, and domain. However, Sheng Zhongtian was the opposite. He had comprehended a domain long ago, but the strength of his divine sense could not keep up. After holding on for half an hour, Sheng Zhongtian fell from midair. Just as he was about to fall into the quicksand river, A flying sword cut across the sky and brought his body to the feet of everyone. Everyone stand back. Leave these soul cultivators to me, Qin Fen said. Qin Fen's voice was calm and steady, as if he were surrounded by thousands of soul cultivators, completely unaffected by the situation. First, set a small goal. For example, remember in 1 second, Booksellers Mobile, that you're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.